second. Jeff Roberts sitting in for Jared Moore this evening. Tim Birie, of course, with me. And we've got a game between the Colonel Crawford Eagles, 9-1 on the regular season. And in N10 play, finished in the tie for the league lead with a 6-1 record in Northern 10. Reidsville Eastern, who made a nice lengthy drive to come on up here, comes into the game at 7-3. Overall, they went 4-1 in the Hocking division of the Tri-Valley Conference. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about Reidsville Eastern. We're going to talk a whole heck of a lot about Colonel Crawford and what to expect in tonight's ball game. It comes up next right here on Country Legends AM 1540, 107.5 FM, WBCO, and the OH Report.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person.
Getting ready for kickoff of high school football. Like I said, the Division VI Region 23 playoffs. Jeff Roberts, Tim Birie here as Reidsville Eastern, the Eagles, take on the Colonel Crawford Eagles tonight. And Tim, two ball clubs here that obviously excited to be at this point and no stranger to playoff football for either one of these teams.
No, both of them have a tradition of being in the playoffs. And
Tim needs turned up.
The one thing is Reidsville Eastern is, as you said, had a lengthy drive, almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
And, but that's what happens when you're the 12th seed.
Yeah.
And so they're used to hosting some games and doing things. That's not the case here, but, they're a good football team.
Yeah.
As we talked a little bit before, I mean, one of their losses was to Wahama, West Virginia, who's won the small school state championship several times in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. And in the last 2 years, I think for sure they've won. And, they're big.
Right.
They have some big human beings.
Well, and that's something that we're going to talk about for those who are not unfamiliar with where Reidsville's at. It is pretty darn close to the river, and
Yes.
it is, spitting across to West Virginia. And if anybody's ever made the drive to OU in Athens, I said it's a pretty long drive. It feels forever. And you keep going to get down to Reidsville.
No doubt about it.
It's a hike up there. But like you said, a team that loves to run the football, a team that really likes to go behind big offensive line, and they're really kind of being focused by Ethan Edwards, kid who was really a quarterback who this year, after 3 years playing quarterback, they said, let's put him at running back.
Yeah, 3-year starter. And I think it was more of the fact that Braxton Yonker, who is a sophomore, is a really good quarterback. I was watching him warm up. He can really throw the ball, and a good athlete himself at 6'2" and 175 pounds. Mm-hmm. But, and what that allowed him to do is put Edwards at running back, who's much shorter at 5'9", but he's really fast. And, they'll stick him at quarterback every now and then, run some Wildcat stuff. But, he's averaging 11 yards a carry.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously he's doing it behind a pretty darn big offensive line. Being led over there by Matt Markham, 6'3", 303 pounds. And I think I read something that before the season he was bench pressing 435 pounds,
yes.
which is a whole load of weight to be pushing around. A darn right it is. Absolutely. So, obviously.
accused us of being late.
No, absolutely. We have not missed many meals along the year. But with that said, I think they're going to get into the national anthem here. So we're going to talk about keys to victory for both Eastern and then dip into Colonel Crawford. But we're going to take a break real quick. When we come back, it's more of the pregame show. Colonel Crawford and Reidsville Eastern. It's coming up next right here on Country Legends AM 1540, 107.5 FM, WBCO, and streaming live on the OH Report.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
I'm Steve Krall, president of First Federal Community Bank. And here at First Federal Community Bank, our playbook consists of the 3 C's: care, curiosity, and courage. Just like your team, our 3 C's strengthen our communities and our team here at First Federal Community Bank. On behalf of our team here at First Federal, we want to wish all of our area teams and coaches the best of luck this season. Yes!
5, 4, 3, 2, you're live.
It's Reidsville Eastern and Colonel Crawford here in the Division 6 Region 23 playoffs. Jeff Roberts, Tim Birie, as we're just getting ready to kick things off here, probably about 7 minutes away. And, we're just talking about Reidsville Eastern. We're talking about some of the players. They have some big bodies up front. And quite honestly, a team that really does like to run the football. And I think it's going to be a real big factor for them to be able to pick up a victory if they want to beat Colonel Crawford tonight.
So a team that wants to run the ball where they really need some success, as it's shown on the OH.REPORT, the key, they got to have success on first down.
Right.
You can't gain 1 and 2 yards and then all of a sudden be 2nd and 8. As I said, it sure looked like warming up. Braxton Yunker could be an effective thrower. He's got nice motion. He throws the ball a tight spiral. But then when you look at their stats, they have one wide receiver, or maybe he's got tight end size.
Sure does.
At 6'5", 200. But Colton Lloyd, but the other receivers are his 2 running backs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so maybe that's why they don't throw the ball very often, because, one, they got a guy averaging 11 yards a carry, and then Yonker himself is an effective runner.
Yep.
But, so that, one, they have to really have some success on first down. And, 2, they got to prevent Crawford from hitting home runs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Crawford is a big play offense. McMichael can break one at any time. Weithman can catch a pass and go the distance at any time. And then you got Weithman on special teams.
Right.
Who is averaging like 30 yards a kickoff return and almost 30 yards, I believe, on the punt returns as well. So, so they got to really make sure they don't do that.
Well, and obviously for teams that like to run the football, if they get down, like you said, multiple scores, things like that, it takes them out of their game plan. Not exactly ideal in any stretch. For Colonel Crawford, let's talk about the Eagles here a little bit. Obviously 9-1 on the season. More success coming for the Eagles throughout the season, and obviously they got several weapons out there that you have to kind of watch out for.
They're very balanced, and I think the last couple games that we've done.
Yeah.
One was the loss to Cary, but then last week, getting after Winford pretty good. They've even been more balanced.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't run the ball quite as much as they've had in past games, but really had great success in the passing game. Their defense they're going to come after you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They had several guys in the N10 leading, especially Payne DeGray, in sacks, tackles for losses. They're going to bring some pressure from time to time, so they're going to get after you defensively. And then they got great special teams.
Right. Exactly. They got a guy who can kick, a guy who can punt. You
Yeah.
know, when you're a complete ball team, it's kind of a nice situation. We spend a lot of times when we're on the air, we kind of, before games, get a lot of times, we're looking at stats. And because of stats, sometimes it is easy to overlook defensive line, offensive line play. But ultimately, when it comes to Colonel Crawford, the straw that stirs the drink, especially defensive, is, defensively speaking, might be Payne DeGray.
Well, the one thing that you got to love about Payne DeGray is not only he does all this stuff, he's just a great kid.
Right.
But I mean, he's a 4-year letter winner. He's a returning All-Stater, and his name's going to get mentioned a lot tonight.
Sure.
Whether it's for tackles for losses, just making tackles, he just disrupts the other team's offense.
And quite honestly, even when we're not saying his name, I realized in a game we were calling earlier this year, I saw him and I was like, he's getting double and triple teamed, and everybody else on the team and the line was getting through. They were getting sacks all over the place, and they were getting into the backfield a lot because he was just forcing everybody to just kind of lock him down, and he was making life easier for his teammates.
And then obviously as we look at, some of their keys, one, the only game they lost, they didn't control the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Against Cary. And they got to control it on both sides. They got to be able to run the ball. They got to be able to give their quarterbacks time to hit a couple passes. And we've already talked about, they need to control the line of scrimmage so that Eastern can't run the ball as much as they want. And then the other thing, I joked I was watching the World Series as I was thinking about some of these things.
Yep.
So we keep referencing baseball.
That's right.
They got to hit some home runs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They got to have a few big plays. And
a huge part of who they are and who they've been is, the ability to kind of stretch a defense with, some big pass plays. Obviously, Weithman, super speedy on the outside, a tough matchup there. But McMichael also tends to break open runs, especially against teams that are struggling up front. Like you said, if they get to control the line of scrimmage, he's usually going to get something going during the game.
Well, he was banged up a little bit with an elbow injury, but then he came back and, he's really played well. And he hits his home runs. I mean, he's got good speed, not great speed.
Yep.
He breaks tackles.
Yes.
He's just really strong.
Absolutely. So obviously for those who haven't looked at the total bracket, the winner of this game will end up taking on the number 4 seed. So the top 4 seeds this year with a 12-seed playoff from each region. Top 4 all got a first-round bye, and the winner will take on Mount Gilead. That game will be played at Mount Gilead. So it actually sort of kind of works out. If Colonel Crawford can pick up a victory tonight, they don't have to make a super long road trip.
Oh, yeah.
That's very manageable if you're Coach Bruner.
Very unusual.
Right.
They'll drive, 15, 20 minutes to get to Mount Gilead.
Yep.
And, where, as we already talking about, their opponent tonight drove about almost 3 hours to get up here.
It'd be easier for Eastern if they win this game to just get hotels and stay up here for a week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, I don't know what their budget is.
Exactly. Talk to the AD. Start getting donations.
They did come on a nice bus.
They sure did. So, getting ready to get things going here. And like I said, with the playoffs in front, just want to give credit both these teams. Jason Jackson, who is a 4th-year head coach for Eastern, he has been to the playoffs all 4 years as his head coach. And obviously, Jake Bruner's been around the block, he's had tons of success, not only as a head coach, but even before, as an assistant coach. I mean, it's like Yeah, it's, a couple of years into his tenure as a head coach at Crawford, but it just feels like he's been here and, been a part of the program and his success at Bucyrus before this. He's been around plenty of years and has a lot under his belt in terms of experience. And winning.
Absolutely. And it's just done a great job continuing what Coach Ted got going all of a sudden. And, obviously with his untimely death, and then, he's just continued it. And Jake's done a great job of doing that. And, just Crawford, as far as the county is concerned, it's the home of the champions because they sports-wise, boys and girls, both sides of it. A lot of success.
Kind of figured it out in almost every area, that's for sure. Colonel Crawford did win the coin toss. They deferred to the second half, so Eastern's going to receive. When they do, they're going to be heading north. They'll be traveling north. So Sam Balk is back to receive for them. So is Parker Durst. Durst is a player who is one of their two running backs. We talked about Ethan Edwards. Durst is the other guy, so we'll hear those names a lot tonight. And obviously, Joseph Zizzo going to kick things off for Colonel Crawford. And his ability to put a leg under the ball gives a real advantage to the Eagles in almost every game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, it'll be interesting to see what he does. Sometimes he directional kicks and kicks it over the first line and towards the sideline. And then the next one he kicks in the end zone.
Yeah. He never makes it easy for the returners to figure out where he's going with it.
Keeps them guessing, that's for sure.
Does. Well, Colonel Crawford in their yellow jerseys tonight in terms of the tops with the black pants, but makes things a lot easier for me. And he's going to come up, Zizzo does, and he's going to put the boot under that ball, and they'll come down around the 12-yard line. This is going to be Balk coming back with it, going right up the middle, 25-yard line. He'll be taken down around the 27, and that is where the Eastern Eagles will start their first drive of the game.
Oh, see, just where Coach Jackson wants to do. If he's going to have a few surprises for him, maybe come out and throw it a little bit early, or if he's just going to do what they've done all year, their bread and butter is to, hand the ball off to Edwards or have Yonker fake it and keep it himself.
Absolutely. Braxton Yonker, like I said, a sophomore, as you mentioned, taking over that quarterback position, 6'2", 175 pounds. He's going to go under center with the two backs right behind him. Kind of a split formation behind them. Everybody packed in tight except the one very tall wide receiver and Lloyd at 6'5" outside. Everybody else inside. They're going to go right up the gut with it, and there's going to be a stockade of bodies down there on the quick handoff. They went right up the middle. That was Durst. Got probably a yard or two on first down. Yep, they're going to give him 2. So second down and 8 here for
It looks like this
Eastern
is,
Eagles.
I watched Remember the Titans the other night. It looks like they're in the veer.
That's what I was going to say. I was thinking the exact same thing. They got the veer, and right behind Yonker is Edwards and Durst. This time they're going to go around the edge. This one is Durst again, and he's going to get around that corner, and he's going to be pretty close to a first down before they'll drag him down. Good, solid run. And if you remember the Titans, favorite one, they're actually going to give him the first down, so you can get 8 yards on that one. But it was, run the split veer. It's like Novocaine. Just give it time, always works.
Yep.
So there it is, 8 yards.
See, back a long time ago to Cincinnati Princeton days. We ran the veer, and that's pretty much how it worked. We'll do it, and then we'll hit a home run.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll break one, and it's off to the races.
Ball at the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 here for Eastern. Like I said, under center is Yonker. He's going to turn around, hand a quick handoff right up the middle. Crawford meets the running back that time. Stacked bodies right there in the middle. Eagles ready for it. They went to Edwards on that run, first run for him. And he'll go about 2 yards as well. It's kind of very similar to the run to Durst on the first down play on the last drive.
Yeah, it's just a straight dive there. There wasn't really any lineman pulling or anything. They just run the dive. They may come out, look, if it is the veer, they may come out and run a little option.
They're going to give him
a little counter stuff.
Yep. They'll give him 3 on that play. So, second down and 7. He's going to turn back. He's going to look to throw, and he's going to throw it up deep. He's looking for the tall guy, Lloyd, and he just can't get away from the defense. Good job out there defensively. Jacob Cochran running stride for stride. Cochran.
Yeah, you see the replay over there on the OH report. Cochran just does a good job and got himself finally turned around so he doesn't get the interference call, and great coverage by Cochran.
Yep. Jacob Cochran, they list at 6'3", but when you see him next to Colton Lloyd, who's 6'5" on the roster, he looks a couple, maybe another inch shorter than that. So little bit of a height advantage, but we'll see what they do. Third down, they'll pitch it. Coming around the edges, Edwards, he's going to get chopped down after picking up a few yards, but it's going to bring up a fourth down, probably about 4 yards, maybe even 5 here for Eastern. Still stuck in their own territory at the 43, and it looks like they're going to bring out the punting team.
Yeah, that time just ran the sweep. They did pull some linemen finally to get out in front, but great pursuit by the Eagles, and they didn't get a 3-and-out, but, they'll take a 6-and-out.
Sure will. With the ball at the 43-yard line, Eastern going to set up quickly and look to punt. They're going to see a flag thrown.
I don't think Crawford got off the field.
Yeah, that might be how they got him. Weithman got the thing, and he's going to make a guy miss. He's going to go down to the 37, 38-yard line before he's brought down. But like you said, that may have been, part of the game plan is if we can get everybody out there, get them set quickly, maybe Colonel Crawford still gets a guy on the field, and if that's the case, 5-yard penalty will give him a first down.
Won't it?
Yep, sure would. So we'll just see what the officials say, or are they going to say it's a procedure penalty and Eastern didn't set before they punt the ball?
Could be.
So
it could be offsetting.
Couldn't tell exactly. We'll see where they go with this one.
Penalties have been a problem.
Sure has. It will go against Eastern, so
probably.
And
there's
offsetting.
It looked like he was going to signal, and then he stopped.
Right. He looked like he was going to call hold, maybe going back on Crawford the other way, but he went back to, the white hat went back to his, officials.
So now we're going to talk it over
official
another
team
conference.
and say, "Oh, did I get that right?"
Yeah.
I'll say this. I don't know if you've seen this a lot this year, Tim, but in the games that I've been to, there's been more long conversations from officiating this season than maybe any that I've seen in the years past.
No doubt about it. It's like, hey, you threw the flag. What's the call?
Right.
Then let's stick with it.
And so, and again, it was a side judge over right in front of the Colonel Crawford bench that threw the first flag. So they're marching back like they're going to make them repunt or something like that. Maybe they're going to illegal substitution, and that's against Colonel Crawford, is what they're saying. So, and now they're marching off for it's a first down. So,
first down.
I guess it was probably mislabeled, I guess is the way I'll say it. He marked it off wrong, pointed in the wrong direction. So the illegal substitution against Colonel Crawford gives the Eastern Eagles a first down as the ball is set down at the 48-yard line of Eastern.
That's a mistake you don't want to make, to let them keep their drive alive.
Yep, they'll turn around. There's going to be an end-around play. And, oh, boy, that got blown up fast.
And
guess who it was, They tried to do the quick handoff. They tried to go with Kyler Basham. Basham is not a very small freshman, but speedy, and he could not get around that edge. Ends up DeGray hits him for a 3-yard loss.
DeGray does a great job of reading the offensive lineman in front of him. When they pull, he often follows them, and then he's right there.
So it brings up 2nd and 13 from the 45. They'll turn and hand it off, and they're going to get in the backfield and going nowhere once again. That's Durst. They met him back there, and it's going to be another loss. Probably lost a yard on that handoff.
Parker Durst, the ball carrier, he's brought down.
Actually, Eastern going to take a timeout right now. After that play, Coach Jackson doesn't like what he's seeing, so he's going to take that timeout. We take one as well with 8:33 left on the clock here in the first quarter. Our score is still tied. It's 0-0 between Eastern and Colonel Crawford. We'll be right back.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Formation for the very first time. They've got everybody split up. He's going to roll out to the right. Yonker, he's going to fake a pass and just throw it deep. Throwing it really up in the air, and it's going to be knocked down. And almost got it on the reflection, on the deflection, excuse me. And like I said.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be an interception. It was tipped, and then Basham almost dove and caught it.
Yeah, that Kyler Basham is down the field, and he wasn't the intended target, but That was one of those throws that it's almost like, hey, if they pick it off, it's like a punt.
Absolutely.
So
and,
who cares?
So now we'll get to
they
take
will
a look
punt.
at the punter and
Yep.
see what kind of. I like their place kicker when he was kicking. And
Ethan
he's a pretty
Edwards
good punter too.
going to put that one out, kick it away from Weithman. I think they learned a quick lesson on the first punt. That was the penalty, and that'll roll out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. So see if that's where they'll set it. I think they will. So that's where Colonel Crawford will start their first drive with 8:15 on the clock here in the first quarter.
Big difference in field position from the first punt.
Yeah,
they had a nice return, and they were going to have the ball at the 35, somewhere around the 35 or 37-yard line, and now they're back on the 15.
We talked a little bit about going into the game about how Eastern was big and, especially kind of up front, had some big bodies. But when you see them sort of next to Crawford, it does look like, especially in the second tier of players.
Especially when you look at their defense.
Yep.
They got those two big offensive linemen, but their defense does not look very big at all.
No, I mean, it's like the second tier from the linebackers back. A lot of undersized guys, so we'll see how that plays out.
Absolutely.
Handoff. Nope, they're going to fake it. It's going to be Baker throwing it outside. It is Weithman. He's going to get past the defender, and he's in the open field at the 30. The 35 will get pushed out of bounds there. Ethan Edwards, the safety, comes over and knocks Weithman out of bounds, but not before he ends up with a pretty impressive first down pickup. They're going to put it down at the 34-yard line, so we'll go 19 yards on the first play of the game for Colonel Crawford.
If Eastern's going to try to defend Weithman that way all night, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, sure is.
Because you can't – basically, he was one-on-one with that guy for 20 yards.
And he was giving him a 5-yard cushion at the beginning, a lot of space. So they'll go ahead and put Weithman in motion, and the flag's going to be thrown before this ball is snapped. So procedure penalty going against Colonel Crawford. That's going to be their second penalty.
And, again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but, that's been an issue pretty much all year, that a lot of penalties.
Yeah.
And those ones kill you because they're pre-snap ones that are easily avoidable.
Absolutely. 1st and 15. Once again, Baker fakes the handoff. He'll go outside to Weithman again, but this time they were right there on top of him. Nice defensive effort right there. Not exactly it's kind of a clunky design play in terms of the execution of it. Didn't get out smoothly. And when they threw it out in the open field, it ends up losing a couple yards. They'll lose 3 on that play.
Well, they threw it behind him.
Yep.
And, so that really messed up the timing. Just started and allowed, so Weithman couldn't get squared up to make a move to get around the guy like he did on the first reception.
Yep. 2nd and 18 now facing Colonel Crawford. Ball at the 26-yard line. Baker in the backfield with McMichael. He's going to fake looking to the right way. Now he's going to roll out left. He's going to get out to the outside. He's got some pressure in his face, so he's just going to have to throw it away. Nobody open for Peyton Baker. And again, kind of trying to have to throw across his body, so he's needs a guy who's almost either wide open or time to be able to turn his body up the field.
Yeah, he's got to get a little more depth.
Yep.
When he boots out, it was a little boot pass, and you got to get a little more depth, especially going left, so you can get your shoulders turned up the field and make the throw. And but well defended that time by Eastern.
3rd and 18 now facing Colonel Crawford. 7:22 on the clock, first quarter. We're still scoreless. And there's the shotgun. Back to Baker. He's going to look down the field. He's got some pressure in his face. He'll get away from it as he rolls out. Pressure still coming on. He's got a wide open receiver, and he threw it over his head. Just, trying to look for Weithman. Weithman would have been about 5-6 yards short of the first down marker if he was able to bring down the pass. But you never know if he's able to turn upfield and make something happen. But as it goes, it'll be 4th down, and Colonel Crawford will look to punt.
Yeah, same thing as the one he threw behind him. That one he threw it a little high. But if Weithman, if it's right at his chest, now he might be able to get squared up, make a move on a guy, and get the first down. But instead, they'll be forced to punt it.
Sure will. Holt will come in, do the punting for Colonel Crawford. And once again, it'll be ball back and 2 guys back, and it will be Sam Balk picking it up. He's at the 45, gets to about the 48, 47-yard line. We'll see where they mark it down before he's drugged down to the ground. Nice defensive play once again by Colonel Crawford, but decent field possession to start things off here for Eastern.
Absolutely, and it's kind of the way Eastern wants it to be. They want to win the field position battle because they want to run the football.
Exactly. They'll actually put it down at the 46, so give it about a yard shorter than I thought. Regardless, 7:03 on the clock here in the first quarter. Eastern comes back on the field, and now they've got everybody packed in. There is no receiver split out. three running backs right behind the quarterback. He's going to turn around, hand it to Edwards. He's going right side with it, and he's got some space, and he's going to get out there and get probably 9 on first down. Nice power run right there from Eastern.
Well, that time they just got in the T formation. Woody Hayes would have been proud.
Yes, he would.
And then ran student body right, and so they got Crawford all bunched in.
Yep.
And then
take it around the edge.
Get it to Edwards, who's got really good speed, and he was able to get to the edge.
Reads his blocks well, too.
9-yard gain of first down.
Yep, so 2nd and 1 here as they're in Colonel Crawford territory. Ball at the 45-yard line. Once again, same formation. They're going to turn around and they'll go power up the gut right now on this one. Didn't get much, but probably got the first down. And we'll see as they unpack
That's
some
the lineman,
bodies.
I believe. That's number 60, right?
I was going to say, I think that is 50.
50. All right.
Yeah,
50.
number 50, Blaze Gilmore, 6'1", 222. Go right up the gut with it.
So he was their fullback in the T formation when they go to that, and ran a little trap play and right up inside and got the first down.
Sure did. So they'll come out, set up the same thing. They'll go left side this time, looking for the speed rush around the edge, but Colonel Crawford is there to meet him. I think handoff on that one was to Durst, and Colonel Crawford defensively was right there in the backfield. A lot of bodies in there to stack up the ball carrier. Probably going to lose here. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, but not much there.
Yeah, tried to get Durst out on the perimeter like they did Edwards on that first down run to start the series, but no way it was happening that time. Crawford did a great job of keeping him inside the tackles.
They will say he lost about a half yard, so 2nd down, long 10. Here's the handoff. Edwards trying to go up the middle that time, and Crawford bottlenecks that one fast. So anything they lost on the first down, they maybe got there, but it's still probably half yard at most, if anything. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 here for the Eastern Eagles. Again, Crawford doing a nice job packing up that interior where that's where the big bodies are for the Eagles.
Well, they tried to run a power off tackle play, and so they pulled a guy around and had the other guy, had one of the fullback kicking out the end and trying to get a double team inside, but Crawford has really, really good linebackers.
Shotgun formation, 4 receivers out. Yonker going to look downfield. There's the throw. There is a little contact there, but they will say no dice. Good job right there defensively. Cochran stepped right in front of that ball and knocked it down.
Well, he did a really good job of as we'll see on the OH report on the replay, he'll do a good job of getting his lead hand in front, and he didn't allow himself to get that backhand around his back like a lot of guys do. So
he
flag.
Bodied into him a little bit, but didn't. Like you said, he didn't wrap him up at all. Looking for Edwards,
especially the way it's pass interference called. Now you can get away with bodying him up.
Absolutely.
You just can't get your arms wrapped around him.
4th and 10, they'll just look to punt as they'll just try to keep the field position game going. Nice punt, and it's going to drop at the 5 and roll into the end zone. Got a bad roll there as Edwards put a little bit too much into it. So with 4:32 on the clock, Colonel Crawford gets the ball back, and they'll set it up at their own 20-yard line. Want to thank everybody for joining us here for the Lewis Family McDonald's Game of the Week. The Division 6 Region 23 first round of the playoffs. Colonel Crawford Eagles, Reidsville Eastern Eagles. Winner will play a week from today. The number 4 seeding, Mount Gilead, awaits. I'm sure their coaches are here doing some scouting.
Absolutely, and great year for Mount Gilead.
Yes.
Coach did a great job with them this year. It's been a while since they've been a playoff team.
Absolutely.
And from what I understand about them, they got a nice size offensive line as well, and they want to run the football and play very physical. So Crawford, if they can get by this one, at least we'll be used to playing that style of football.
Brayton Holt going to come into the quarterback position here, and they'll hand it off to McMichael on first down. He's got space. He's going to make he's going to get him right around the ankle, and that is going to save a huge run, probably about a 7-8 yard pickup. Defensive back came up and just tripped him right at the ankle. Doing a nice job, Josiah Kearns, the senior defensive back.
If he could have spun out of that one, he had 2 guys blocking downfield. It could have turned into something really huge.
That would have been massive down the field because, like you said, he had blockers downfield and no other white jerseys really there. That would have been – they would have to come across the field to tackle him.
First time they ran the ball tonight, very successful doing it.
They're going to do it again. He's got lead blocker in front of him. There goes McMichael. He's out to the 42-yard line before he's drugged down. 16-yard pickup just following the lead blockers through the hole.
For 16 yards, he's tackled by number
Connor McMichael, 2 carries, 22 yards.
Second first down for Crawford, and
Yep.
maybe they've discovered something that is going to work because McMichael's had a lot of room on both those runs.
Sure has. They were doing they came out passing on their first drive. And part of it is they got behind the sticks a little bit, but now 2 runs in a row and a lot of success doing it. Holt, he's going to go ahead and give it to McMichael. They go the other way, but he'll cut it back, and this time they met him. Going to be a short pickup there. Ends up falling forward, maybe got a yard or 2.
Well, the play looked like it was supposed to go to the left, and he saw a little traffic there, so he planted his foot and tried to cut back, but the backside pursuit for Eastern stayed home.
Sure did.
And they didn't overrun the play, so he didn't have as much room as he's had on those first 2 plays.
2nd and 8 now for Colonel Crawford as they've got the split back receivers in the shotgun formation. Holt, he's going to go ahead and hand it off. That's going to be Thew. He's going to cut it inside to make a spin. He's going to get into for the first down as he gets into Eastern territory. Ball down at the 45-yard line. Outstanding run right there for Rowan Thew.
Yeah, he did a really good job of making the first guy miss. Got through the hole, made the first guy miss, and had that little spin move, and 11-yard gain. And Thew is, he's only a junior. And it's like they graduate great running backs, and they find another.
There's always somebody sitting there waiting. So this time it's going to be Holt in the backfield alone as they split out 5 receivers, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. He's going to just stop, throw out to the outside. He gets it out there. It's going to be Thew again, and he's going to make the catch, and he's going to be just shy of the first down marker. Got about 9 on the quick pitch and catch to the outside to Rowan Thew.
Yeah, just ran a little hitch, and they played off him far enough that Thew was able to catch it.
I guess they give him 8 on that
Get
one.
An 8-yard gain. And
yep. So make it a 2nd and 2. They're in the same formation. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Holt, he's going to just look right. He's going to go over the middle. Wide open is DeGray. There's John DeGray, and he is in the end zone. They lost John DeGray going right up the middle, and there is a 37-yard touchdown pass from Braden Holt to John DeGray.
Yeah, he just ran a seam route, and they were in cover 3, and he ran right down the hash, and there was no one there. The safety ran over to help on Weithman, and John DeGray was running free. And
yep, the 2 guys that came over
Holt
to try to help
did a great job
out.
of delivering it. The lineman gave him plenty of time, a very safe pocket to stand in, and could see everything. An easy touchdown for the Eagles.
Sure was. Zizzo on the extra point is good. So with 2:20 on the clock here in the first quarter, Colonel Crawford strikes first. It is Colonel Crawford Eagles 7, Eastern Eagles 0. We'll be right back.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Is our school. Everyone said Braxton Braden Holt. And sure enough, just like that, the Colonel Crawford Eagles are up and running here. Nice drive.
Yeah, that drive, they didn't get behind the sticks, and they were able to mix it up with the pass and run, and made it look pretty easy.
Durst going to take it back on the long kick. He's going to go right side. He's at the 20, and he's going to get chopped down there on the 23-yard line. Nice defense. Good effort stepping up and making the tackle right there for the Colonel Crawford Eagles. I think that was Nathan McCartney. So 2:13 on the clock here as Eastern tries to respond to an outstanding Colonel Crawford touchdown pass from Holt to John DeGray. And again, for Eastern, nothing to fear in terms of a 7-0 deficit, but they don't want to get too far behind. Like you said, big plays from Colonel Crawford could hurt them.
Very much so. Important this drive, they need to get a couple first downs at best.
They're going to turn around, do a quick handoff, and there is Crawford there waiting as Edwards got that handoff, and he is met immediately. Dom Dean cutting through and hitting him in the backfield. Maybe got a yard. I don't think he got that. Probably nothing there. So Ethan Edwards, who, like I said, averaging 11 yards a carry coming into the season. He's got 5 carries for 16 yards early in this game, according to my numbers.
Yeah, well, they play that 3-3-5. Crawford does.
Yep.
And now they got 4 down guys, but their linebackers are really good, and their down guys do a great job of keeping the linemen off of them.
There it is. There's the pitch to the outside. Nice cut around there. And a spin off. And sure enough, it's Durst who's going to get out there. Probably got a good 7 yards on the pitch around the edge. And almost, slung away. Ended up running into the arms of Blaze Gilmore,
and
one of his linemen.
He's got to be careful because you can't aid the runner by pulling him forward from the front.
That's right, and that's what he
push.
was doing. Yes,
and he basically
caught him. Took him and
caught him and threw him forward.
He threw him forward, like, hey, get over there.
Exactly.
Shifted him to the side. 3rd and 3. Ball set at the 30-yard line of Eastern.
He probably told the ref he didn't mean it. He kind of ran into me, and I just tried to get him out of my way.
I just dropped him. There's a quick handoff over the middle.
There.
Nothing. And they'll see if they got probably a yard and a half. Edwards
close.
Able to fall forward a little bit, so it'll be a 4th down. It was 4th down and 3, and it's probably – or 3rd down and 3, and it's probably 4th down and 1 now. So
gives Coach Jackson something to think about here.
Yep.
But you got to be careful, man. That's awful deep, 32-yard line.
And then again, it's not a half yard or anything like that. They
He's
got a full
not subbing
yard.
Though. He's going for it.
He is.
Oh.
He's got 15 seconds left, so he could just go hard count and see if he can get Crawford to jump offside. Oh, there's the timeout. Going to take their second timeout here. Eastern will in the first quarter. 12 seconds left on the clock in the first quarter. It is Colonel Crawford 7, Eastern 0. We'll be right back.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
The ball's at their own 32-yard line, Tim. Coach Jackson brought him out like he was going to go for it, and then he called the timeout and said, let's talk this over a little bit.
Maybe let's take another look at this. Because I really agreed with you. I thought what he might do is just try to get them go long count. I don't know what the play clock was on, but it looks like now we're set up to run a little
everybody in
push.
tight. And they're just going to go right up the middle, and there it is, the tush push. They got it. Nah, if you look at the official on the far side, yeah. They're going to give it to him.
He's already moving the sticks.
Yep, Yonker. It was kind of a weird hesitation when he got the handoff. We're looking at it again, and the bodies kind of collided. Luckily, like you said, there is the big guy, Blaze Gilmore, got behind him, was able to push him forward, and that will be the last play of our first quarter. Ball sits at the 34-yard line, and that's where Eastern will get it. It is 1st and 10. Colonel Crawford 7, Eastern 0. We'll be back with the second quarter after this timeout. Thanks for joining us for high school football on Country Legends, AM 1540, 107.5 FM, WBCO, and streaming live on the OH Report.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain train heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local trained comfort specialist.
Quicker and housing lender.
Second quarter starts, 1st and 10 for Eastern. Ball at the 34-yard line. 7-0, Colonel Crawford with the lead. They're going to turn around, look to pass. Yonker, he has to fake it, pull it back, and now he throws it deep, and his receiver's wide open. Oh, and he dropped it. Threw the ball a little bit behind Colton Lloyd. He got away from the defender, who kind of fell asleep when the play kind of broke down in the backfield. Yeah. But Yonker stayed upright, threw it down the field, and if he hits Lloyd, he's gone.
Yeah, Weithman got caught looking in the backfield. He saw that the pressure was on, and Yonker was scrambling around, and he just kept running. Lloyd kept running, and he was open, and he underthrew it a little bit, and then he had to come back, but it was still a catchable ball.
Sure was.
For at least a nice gain, but he dropped it.
2nd and 10. They're going to go ahead and pitch it out to Durst. He's going to look left side. Boy, he got crushed on that play. They're just coming through, putting big bodies on it. That's DeGray. Payne DeGray coming through. Man. I was going to say, that is no gain right there for Parker Durst. Brings up a 3rd down and 10. Ball still at the 34-yard line. See what the Eastern Eagles can dial up here is, again, Lloyd split out alone on the right side. Everybody else packed in. They're going to go ahead and fake 2 handoffs, and then Yonker's looking to throw downfield. He's in trouble. He dumps it off to Edwards, who's going to pick up some yards, but he'll be short of the first down. Probably got 5 yards on the dump off to Ethan Edwards. Got a nice heady play by Yonker under pressure, but not enough to get a first down, that's for sure. Yep, go 5. So it's a 4th and 5 from the 39-yard line. Got 10:45 and counting on the clock here. So Eastern going to have to look to set the punt again as Weithman will sit back and Edwards the punter.
Yeah, the Eagle defense playing very solid right up to this point.
Oh, we got a flag coming
flag.
in. Uh-oh. So for Colonel Crawford, they got to hope that this is on Eastern because they don't want to give them 5 yards here because that'll give them potentially a first down, if not even.
The back judge threw it.
Yep, exactly. Which is usually
run out of time.
No, we'll see what's happening.
They're wiping it off.
Yep. Okay, so they'll just replay it here. No flag on the play.
I can't remember, Jeff. For some reason, I'm thinking somehow they switched the way they do the referees, and maybe these guys have worked together. Used to be you kind of like had all-star ones.
Weithman picks it up at the 35 on the punt. He was able to catch it and he was running in full stride. Got it out to the Colonel Crawford 49-yard line where he was tripped up. That's where the Eagles will start this drive. They're up 7-0.
Yeah, he was able to catch on a fly, got a nice 10-yard return, and now the Eagles are in really good field position.
Yep. The other Eagles.
Yeah.
1st and 10.
Yes.
They're actually going to put him down at the 48.
Okay.
So, okay. But either way, Colonel Crawford with the lead and obviously did some really good things on that last drive. A couple of great runs by McMichael, and that just kind of forced the Eastern Eagles, to look in the backfield a little bit more.
Right.
And they popped over the top to John DeGray. So see what Coach Brunner and the coaching staff for the Eagles will dial up here. As once again, they're going to bring Baker back in the quarterback. They'll hand it off to McMichael. He'll go right side, but boy, the Eastern Eagles are right there all over him, and they just kind of strung him out, and then pushed him out of bounds after probably a 2-yard loss. Nice job defensively.
Yeah, they tried to get him out on the perimeter, and Eastern was having nothing to do with that. But Eastern plays all cover 3 in their defensive backs, so watch them running down that seam again. The seams are usually open against cover 3 look.
Yep. So they'll lose 1 there on first down. So 2nd down and 11. And once again, Crawford got everybody packed in tight but stacked right side strong. And they'll give it to McMichael. He'll run that way. He's got some blocking in front of him. And he's going to go 10-0. And he kept going. He got past that first down marker. Nice strong run for Connor McMichael for the first down.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to come up just a little short, but
Yep.
as you see on the replay, he breaks that tackle and steps out of bounds after a 12-yard gain and a first down.
Great run. And again, outstanding blocking up front by Colonel Crawford to give him the holes to run through. We're under 10 minutes left here in the second quarter. Colonel Crawford with a 7-0 lead, and they are once again in Eastern territory as the ball is at the 42-yard line. Baker in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the left side. Now they're going to move to splits to the left side, and they're going to go ahead and give the handoff. It's going to be Baker. He's just going to run with it. Flag thrown.
Yeah,
yep.
It's
I think they're going to
usually
get
a
a
spot
hold.
where it's holding.
It looks like in the hold spot. Baker actually on the quarterback draw ended up getting 10, 11 yards on a little hesitation. Eastern all just kind of were going up the field around him. He just cut up the gut. But there's
Baker's
the hold.
really – he was a guy last year hardly ever ran the ball.
I agree, yes.
And he's been very effective running the ball this year.
I actually said the same thing on the first time I saw them this year. Without being mean-spirited in the way I'm going to say it, I was like, when did Peyton Baker start running? Like,
Well,
he was really a pocket
He was on
passer.
the coach's show when I did it with Colonel Crawford, and he talked about his off season, and that was one of his goals, was to just get faster and more athletic. And obviously he did that in the weight room this year, and it's paid off with him being able to be a threat to run the ball.
1st and 20, though, after the penalty. They'll fake the handoff to McMichael. Baker's in trouble, and he was falling down. He's just going to throw it out of bounds.
But it was close enough to Thew that it's not going to be a ground.
And actually, I got to be honest with you, kind of a heads-up play.
Yeah.
Thew, I think he kind of saw him in trouble. Well, I guess he was kind of over there anyway. I thought maybe he was running to save their possibility of anything being
the official
grounding.
immediately pointed that it made it past the line of scrimmage.
Yep, it did.
So they avoid another big loss.
Sure did. 2nd down and 20. They are back in their own territory after the 10-yard penalty that they received, so it's a 2nd down and 20 at the 48-yard line of Colonel Crawford.
Baker's got to understand on this, they don't need all 20.
Yep.
10 would be good.
Nobody in the backfield this time, but they will do the pitch on the end around. And
That's
that's going to be Thew coming around. He's got blockers in front of him, and they just got him at the ankle. And they got all the way down to the 30-yard line. They needed 20 on 2nd down, and they got 22. Rowan Thew, lead blockers, just bodies all over the place in front of him.
Once again, first the guys up front did a good job of getting him to the perimeter. Then their wide receivers do a great job of blocking down the field without holding.
Yep.
And huge first down.
I said for many, many years, if you get an 8-yard pickup, the guys up front are doing a good job. If you get a 20-something yard pickup, everybody's blocking.
You betcha, and it's amazing. If you can get your wideouts to become good blockers, you're going to get a lot of big plays.
They will give it to McMichael. He'll go right side. He'll cut it up the middle, and he's going to get another first down. Ball was at the 30 at the snap, and now the ball is down at the 19, so 11-yard pickup for Connor McMichael. 9 minutes left on the clock here in the first half. Eagles moving the ball very well. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Guess 19 and a half.
Watch it here. This might be a little play action and get them snooping a little bit.
They got Weithman alone on the right side. Shotgun formation. Baker with the 2 backs behind him. They'll give it to McMichael. He's going to jump over a body, come up the middle, and he's going to make a guy move, and he's going to dive for the end zone, and they will give it to him. 19-yard touchdown run. Connor McMichael, super impressive. Right at the line of scrimmage, jumped over the first guys that were down on the ground, and then he just made some people miss and drug tacklers into the end zone. Dove forward, and Colonel Crawford's got the 2-score lead.
Got a great kick-out block there by Dom Dean. One of the tight ends, they were 2 tights, and they just gave him a seam, and then he just uses his power and pushes his way into the end zone. And, great job. Now they're short a guy.
They are
again.
short a guy, so will they burn a timeout or will they just take the penalty? There's going to be John DeGray running out there real quick.
They still got 9 seconds, so they still got, but, you're in the 11th game of the season. You shouldn't be have to run a guy out there because you're short.
Baker going to put the ball down. Zizzo's kick is up, and it is through. So with 8:31 on the clock here in the first half, Colonel Crawford takes the 14-0 lead over Eastern. We'll be back with more on Country Legends AM 1540, 107.5 FM, WBCO, and streaming live on the OH Report.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain train heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local trained comfort specialist.
Place.
One on the clock here in the first half. Colonel Crawford 14, Eastern 0 as we get things ready here for another kickoff. Colonel Crawford doing a nice job offensively in their last two drives. Long kickoff, that's a line drive that's going to get past the back and then roll into the end zone. So Eastern going to be set back pretty far here as they try to get back into this thing. Like I said, down 14-0, 8:31 on the clock.
The Crawford's offense just seems right now, as long as they don't, and even there they got behind the sticks because of the hold. But, they're doing a great job of mixing the run and the pass right now. And, when they do that, they're tough to stop offensively when they got their running game going.
Sure are. Again, you said finding balance, super important for Crawford, and they've got it early here, doing it through the air and on the ground. But we'll see what the Eastern Eagles are going to be able to figure out and what to do here as they are set up in shotgun formation here. Again, three receivers over to the right side, one to the left. Yonker going to roll out right side, throw it over there, and he threw it right over the head of his receiver. And boy, that was Jacob Cochran. The ball ended up right at his shoelaces. He had an opportunity for a pick, but not able to pick it up. He was looking for Edwards. I think it was Edwards who was coming out on a kind of a short out route.
That's kind of the problem for Eastern on their offense. When they want to throw it, their best running back is also one of their top receivers, so they got to split them out. And
then everybody knows what's happening.
Now, you got a little problem when your best running back is not standing next to the quarterback.
It will be Durst back there as they stay in the shotgun. Yonker's just going to keep it. He's going to pitch it, a little option play, go over to the left side. He's going to make one defender miss. He's going to be pretty close to that first down marker. See where they mark him if he stepped out. We're on the far side from where he was running, so can't tell if he stepped out a little earlier. But like you said, little option play from the shotgun formation, and Durst got out there.
It's like he got. Well, they're marking him at the 29, so they gave him 9.
No, they're gonna get him on the flag. There was a penalty right there. And
going back on the hold.
Yep. So I kind of missed it, but when they first threw it, but ends up being a hold.
It's just the first penalty on Eastern.
Sure is, but critical one as they had a great play right there.
Absolutely. And now, again, not a team that likes being behind the sticks.
Exactly. Got 2nd and 18 here. Shotgun formation. Yonker going to look to throw. He's going to just stop and try to run, and he just ran into the big arms of Caden Carpenter, 6 foot, 295 pounds in the middle of the field. Unfair to run into that. And that's going to be a 2-yard loss to Braxton Yonker. Sure enough.
Yeah, the pocket just collapsed, and he decided to step up, and the big fella was not moving.
Yep. Third down.
That was an immovable object.
Third down. They set it at the 9-yard line now, so third down and 21 yards facing Eastern. Not where they want to be.
Be careful not to turn it over here.
You're going to just go ahead and throw a quick one to the outside. Getting it out there is to Durst. He'll make a couple of nifty moves.
Loose.
Get him. They'll give him a little bit of space for the punt. Probably got 7 yards on the play. And the quick pass out. Parker Durst. Yep. They'll give him 7. So fourth down once again for Eastern as the Crawford defense continues to play outstanding.
Well, they got, this is a key series for the Eastern defense because Crawford gets the ball first in the second half.
Sure. Nice high punt, but it was short, and then it rolled the wrong way.
Another
Eastern
short
let
field.
they let it bounce, and it was coming back their way, and they let it continue to roll. So it gave Crawford an extra yard, and here they will start this drive at Eastern's 37-yard line. Great opportunity here for the Colonel Crawford Eagles to add on to their 2-score advantage.
So again, you know, be careful of the play action pass here, first down.
It will be
I
Holt.
like it with the Holt's coming in at quarterback, you know, and again he's got Dean here, who's a great receiver at tight end. He's got a guy in the slot that can, you know, you got to be careful.
Holt going to take it from the shotgun. He'll go ahead and roll out to the left side, throw it out there. He's got his receiver, Weithman, and he's going to go ahead and make one guy miss and move it forward. Nice 17-yard pickup as he's taken out to the 20 where he's taken down. But nice pitch and catch very quickly and well executed for Colonel Crawford.
Well, they did a great job. John DeGree cleared out the corner, and Weithman ran right behind him on a long out. He was wide open.
Yeah, sure was. Braden Holt 3 for 3 with a touchdown pass early on in this game.
Yeah, 3 for 3 for 63 yards. I got him.
Yeah.
That's
first and 10 from the 20.
good night.
They'll fake the handoff and throw it out, and he overthrew Weithman. Had to throw it over a defender who was cutting up the field. Nice job defensively, Sam Balk, who was coming up field. So he was trying to throw it over his head on the screen to the outside, and he ended up overthrowing Weithman.
But, you know, Holt's just getting better and better. I mean, he opened the season. He had that off-season shoulder surgery. And, you know, he's just kind of now rounding into the quarterback he was last year.
Yeah. Second and 10 from the 20. 6:26 on the clock here in the first half. Once again, shotgun. Thew going to get the handoff. He's going to look right side. He'll make one guy miss and cut inside. They just keep missing him with arm tackles, and he's going to get pushed forward a little bit. So good 8-yard pickup, maybe even got 9 for Rowan Thew. He's just slippery enough to get through those arm tackles, and he's making Eastern pay for not getting them square, because what really probably should have been a 3-yard pickup ends up being an 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, he did a great job. But just like you said, he just kind of slides around and slithers around, and then all his linemen joined him from behind and gave him a nice push, and
so
very makeable 3rd and 2.
Yep, from the 12. They'll go under center. They'll turn around, hand it off. McMichael, he'll go to the outside. He'll make a guy miss, and he's in the end zone. That's it. Connor McMichael, 12-yard run, his second touchdown of the game, and Colonel Crawford, like that, is up 3 scores. They brought Baker back in for quarterback, put him under center, so it was sort of kind of like, all right, this is definitely going to be a running play. And sure enough, McMichael just making guys miss. They're trying to get him at the ankle.
Yeah, you know, they were in their T formation that time.
Yep.
You know, again, both teams now have been in the T. I can't remember a high school football game where both teams – now we got a –
yeah, Josiah Kearns.
So is that after the play?
Yeah, he was the one who I think came up and was going to make the tackle at McMichael's ankle. Colonel Crawford got a dead ball foul on that play. So, but it was weird because they said dead ball foul block in the back, which I've never, you know, how's that?
Yeah,
Kearns going to pop up. He's going to be all right. But how does that work? It can't be a dead ball foul.
So it's after the play.
But if
he signaled
well,
the
there
touchdown.
it was. I saw it right there on the replay. It looks as if maybe it was Avery Powers.
But I thought once a touchdown, unless it was a personal foul.
That's what I'm saying. A personal foul could be after the play.
But you can't have a block in the back after a touchdown.
That's not how it operates. So they're going to talk it over. They have not put the score on the scoreboard, and I'm kind of hoping they do because I've got it on my score sheet, and I put it in pen. You know?
Didn't they kick the extra point?
No, they did not.
They haven't kicked it yet?
No,
okay.
they didn't do it yet.
All right.
So
I was listening to everyone talk about everything. I missed that part. But
exactly.
Now, yeah.
So we'll see.
This will be interesting.
Yeah. They're going to go over and talk to Coach Bruner about it. He's a little confused himself. 5:36 on the clock here. And actually, looking at the replay on the OH report, you'll see right over here maybe – no, he just got threw him down to the ground. Okay, wrong guy. I thought maybe it was
if it's on
Powers.
If
I didn't think
they called
it
on 14.
No, I don't think it was. That I was looking at the wrong guy.
They're giving him the touchdown, so
okay,
they didn't call it.
Yeah.
And that was an obvious hold.
Yeah, right.
But I think they're just – right now, are they picking up the flag? I mean, they're not giving it So I guess they could penalize it on the kickoff.
Right, exactly. So Zizzo will come in for the extra point. Again, 12-yard touchdown run there for Connor McMichael, off to his great start.
Yeah, what's he? I got like 75, 77
I got him
yards.
77, so yeah,
so.
exactly. Kick is up and good, so just like that with 5:36 on the clock here in the first half. Colonel Crawford takes the 21-0 lead. We'll be back with more here on Country Legends AM 1540, 107.5 FM, WBCO, and the OH Report.
Could be.
36 on the clock here. 21-0 the score. Colonel Crawford with the lead. We were just discussing this as we were coming back here. Must have been, they called it a personal foul because Colonel Crawford is now being assessed on the kickoff, and they'll kick it off from the 25. So there's a nice deep kick. Zizzo going to take it all the way back to Durst, who will pick it up at about the 15. He'll take it out to the 30, 35, 40-yard line. He's coming down the sideline. They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at about the 41, 42-yard line. So nice little return by Parker Durst. But Colonel Crawford surviving their fourth penalty, but
well, as I said, when they were on defense, it was important for Eastern to get a stop, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Now it becomes almost critical for them to score here.
Yes.
They got to get some points on the board somehow.
And ultimately probably need to do it and leave no time on the clock
exactly,
so Colonel Crawford can respond.
The last three drives have been pretty easy for Colonel Crawford.
So we'll see what Eastern can do as they'll put their quarterback, Yonker, in shotgun formation. He's going to look both ways. Nothing there, so he's going to start to look to run. He will get out to the outside, and he makes Thu miss, but Thu did a nice job using the sideline as an extra tackler and just sort of pushed him over that way. So short pickup, maybe got a yard or two. And that's what will be second down and 9. It's, again, good defense being played right now by Colonel Crawford.
Well, as I keep saying, they have really good, they have good players everywhere, but their linebackers are really good.
Yeah.
In McMichael and Dom Dean and
he's going to turn with some pressure on him. There's some play. He's going to run in some bodies, stay upright, and then push himself forward. Got about 2 yards there. So
we actually saw something that doesn't happen very often. Is that they broke a tackle from Payne to Gray.
Yes, exactly. Timeout going to be called there. 5:11 on the clock. And sure enough, with third down and 7, ball at the 44-yard line, we'll just keep it right here. And, obviously, for Reidsville Eastern, this is, not been a smooth sailing, basically last quarter has pretty much gone south for them. And with a 3rd and 7 at their own, 44-yard line, if they're going to have any hopes here, they're going to have to figure out, something to do on this play because that was their last time out.
Yeah, and they, I think it was imperative for them to get off to a quick start.
Yeah.
Just like we said in the keys, it was good for them to do, it was a key to do well on first down. I think it was also a key to get off to a good start.
Yep.
Because, right now, Crawford is rolling. You don't know when no matter how many times you watch on film, but when you're playing a team that you don't really know anything about, that you're not familiar with from playing them over and over again, you don't really know. But right now, Crawford's just saying, hey, we're a lot better than you, and we're going to put one on you if you don't show us something soon.
And now that now we're in a world where the kids can see and watch film themselves. How many times I've heard, I watched them on film, they don't seem that good. It's like, yeah, you haven't been on the field with them.
Exactly.
3rd and 7, they're going to roll them out. They'll get it out there, nice little pitch and catch. They got it there. Will they give them the first down yardage is the question. They got it to Edwards. Nice little run, and roll out to the left side, tough pass across his body.
Well, and especially
he got it there.
Payne DeGray was also wrapped around his chest as he was throwing it, and he just got it off and got the first down. But so they're going to keep moving continue the drive. And
Crawford's 49-yard line now. Under 5 minutes on the clock. Shotgun. Yonker looks to throw. He'll go right over the middle. Nice little throw right there, and they got it. Nice one to, I think it was Basham. Kyler Basham, the sophomore, go 8 yards on that one over the middle. One of the things that I've always said that, I don't understand why more teams don't do is Crawford will usually give you short passes.
Right.
They tighten up when you get to the 20s, but just take what they give you. They're going to roll them out and throw it to the outside. They got it to him. There's Edwards again. He's in about the 26-yard line. Nice throw right there. We've got about 15. We'll go 14 on that one from where they're going to set it down at the 27-yard line.
Definitely his best throw of the day.
No doubt about it. Moving the ball a lot better here. They're trying to put Yonker, try to get him moving a little bit, give him a little bit of space to run. 4:19 on the clock. He'll roll out right side. Nothing there. He's going to trip and then get up, and then he's just going to run into some large bodies. DeGray was in there. Cochran was helping out, and they're going to throw a late flag.
This is not on Crawford.
I wonder if they're going to say
they were trying to move away and not do anything.
Can't tell exactly. Like, they were out of bounds, and I don't know if they said, okay, they didn't get drugged down to the ground until he was a couple yards out of bounds, but it seems as if, Bruner was kind of poking
Bruner's pointing their way.
Yeah,
so
he's like, that's on them.
Personal foul on them. Because the Crawford kids were definitely clearing out. Dom Dean was the one who really smoked them, and he was making sure that he didn't get called for standing over the top of them or anything. So
huge mistake for Eastern, losing 15
they had a
yards.
Nice drive. They have a nice drive going right now.
And not the type of team that needs to be in 2nd down and 25.
Not at all.
So ball at the 42-yard line again. 4:05 on the clock here for the Eastern Eagles. Yonker in shotgun. Gets a little pressure. He'll roll out, and he's going to run with it. Defense comes up on him, and a good, nice open field tackle. Well done. Gabe Stratton stepping up. He'll get the tackle, but few yard pickup there. Probably got about 5 or 6, but still they need a whole heck of a lot more than that. Looking at 3rd down and 20. So
another one of those Crawford linebackers just staying where he belongs and making plays.
Yep. Yonker. He's going to do a quick pass to the outside. Got it to Durst. He's in the open field. He'll get it pretty close to the original line of scrimmage. You get inside of that, and it's going to bring up about a 4th and 8 on the quick pitch out there. I'd say he probably got 12. Nice little play to get some yardage back. Make it at least a potentially manageable 4th down. Still not easy at 4th and 8. But it's better than 3rd and 20.
Oh, absolutely. And Yonker did a good job of just taking what they gave him and checking it down. Durst found a little room, and now it's a makeable at least 4th and 8.
Yep. Yonker going to roll out left side. Nothing there. He's going to have to try to run with it. No way.
Bad decision.
No way.
Really bad decision.
Yep. Short side of the field, so he's going to run out of space. He's got bodies in front of him. He only had one intended receiver on that side, and he was well covered, so he just said, why his receiver slipped. Seeing it on the replay with the OH report, Sam Balk, who was running down the field, slipped and fell down, so he didn't have anybody to throw the ball to because he was the only receiver on that side. So just like that, Colonel Crawford forces the turnover on downs.
The big problem is they got 2:47 and 2 or 3 timeouts left.
And they've got all 3.
They got 3, I thought, yeah. So they got all 3 timeouts left. That's plenty of time.
Plenty of horses to get the ball down the field, too.
And because of those 3 timeouts, it allows you can still run the ball a few times.
Yeah, and quite honestly, I mean, not that they're not thinking this way because you got all the time in the world, but they also have a kicker who can boot the ball pretty far, too. So, even if they have to settle there, they're going to be fine. So it will be Holt who's going to come back in the quarterback position. He's got McMichael to his left side in shotgun. It will be McMichael getting the handoff. He's going to go right side, make a guy miss, and he's going to just get tripped up, get brought down after about a 5-yard pickup. Say Connor McMichael maybe even got 6 on that first down run.
Just came up, he was trying to get out of bounds and didn't quite get there, so the clock continues to run.
Yep.
But still a nice 5 or 6 yard gain on first down.
Yep.
So you're in business.
Ball at Colonel Crawford's 28-yard line. Once again, it's going to be McMichael, handoff right side. He's got some blockers in front of him. He's going to make a couple of guys miss, and then he's going to get drugged down by a guy in the secondary, but not before he gets another first down. Outstanding running right here for Connor McMichael.
And most importantly, in high school football now, it automatically stops the clock.
Yep.
So,
although they didn't.
Got it rolling now, but
2 minutes on the clock
Holt
here.
Can't see the signal, so he was having trouble. Someone was like
get out of the way. Exactly. I think it was the official, actually. Holt looking to drop back and throw. He will. He's going to get it to his guy.
There's a lot of room.
A lot of space for Weithman. He's going to make one guy miss, and then he's going to go ahead and spin off. 20-yard pickup for Parker Weithman before he's drugged down.
Parker Weithman takes it down the field.
Man, they
cleared it all out and ran him underneath, and
they do a great job of finding.
He had plenty of room.
Everybody who is skilled on this team touches the ball. 1:40 on the clock and moving. Holt alone in the shotgun formation. He'll settle back. They're going to set up the screen. Oh, Thew dropped it.
He took his eye. You can see him take the eye off of it. He was looking up the field to see where he was going, and you'll see on the replay, he turned his head to look at that guy to see where he was at. And
defenders were in front of him with nobody blocking
him. He didn't really have, as I was going to say, it was like the offensive line forgot it was a screen because no one pulled out in front of him.
Nobody pulled, exactly. So 1:28 on the clock. It does stop on the incompletion. So
well, they got Weithman in the slot, and they also, I'll tell you what, I'd like to see right here, I'd like to see Dom Dean run down this seam. I don't think they can defend him.
They'll stack DeGray in front of him, and they're going to roll out right side. They're going to get to McMichael out of the backfield, and they'll hit him right away, and they're just going to hold on to his ankle.
Get a timeout here.
Yep, timeout going to be called after about a 2-yard pickup on the throw to Connor McMichael. So we'll say maybe got 1. So short play right there, but third down. Yep, my first reaction was the right one, 2-yard pickup. Though Colonel Crawford will take the timeout here. 1:20 on the clock here, and obviously a third down for the Colonel Crawford Eagles. They're just kind of like looking at this point in time like, all right, I got 2 plays to potentially get a first down, but want to get into that scoring position. And, you got to wonder if you're, putting your head and, turn on your offensive coordinator hat again. Obviously, they're running the ball. When they're doing those power sweeps to McMichael, you can think about that and potentially get it. But 3rd and 8 is when you usually think pass the football.
Right. Well, a couple things. I mean, one, you got 2 downs.
Yep.
And then the other thing is they sit in cover 3.
Yep.
So I keep thinking put out 4 wide receivers.
Yep. Right.
And run them all deep because you got 3 guys running deep, 4 guys running deep, and 3 guys trying to defend them.
Trying to defend them.
And the safety's got to go one way or the other. So what I always taught our quarterbacks is look the safety to one side and then throw it to the guy on the other hash mark.
Exactly. So we'll see what they can do.
And they're 2 by 2 right now. Well, actually, they're empty.
It's going to be under center. They will pitch it coming around the edge. Nice job cutting it off there. They're going to lose yards. Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like I said, end around play that was set up set up to Thew coming around the edge, and they got a defender got in the backfield even though he was being double teamed. One of the Eastern defensive linemen was cutting through, and he got into Thew's running lane and just kind of totally destroyed that play. He didn't make the tackle because he had 2 guys on top of him, but he kind of just stopped Thew's momentum.
Absolutely. Once they got that penetration, Thew couldn't get to the edge. If he could have got to the edge, he had some room. But
And like you just said, it was a third down, so they kind of were figuring, let's throw the pitch out there. If we don't get the first down, but we can get it pretty close, we can keep things going. But losing 3 yards, it's now 4th and 11. The Eagles took another timeout there with 1:14 on the clock. See what they can dial up now. This time they got to get a little bit more downfield. But again, they've run these crossing patterns and throwing guys all over the place, and when they've done that, it does feel like Eastern's been a little confused trying to figure out who to guard. So, ball at the 46-yard line. 4th and 11. 1:14 on the clock here in the first half. Crawford with a 21-0 lead. They'll come out with Holt at quarterback. All the receivers are stacked in tighter this time. It's 3 to the left, 1 to the right. McMichael in the backfield. Holt drops back. He's got some space as he rolls out to the left side. Now he's going to stop. Throw downfield. He got it to his receiver, Weithman, and he got himself a first down.
Yes, he did.
Man, needed 11 and got 13. Tell you right now, just never feels like they can stop them in this game. I mean, they're just moving it at will. Got drugged down and pulled out of bounds with 1:05 on the clock.
Well, that was huge because it stops the clock, and they get the first down, so it continues. And
1:05 on the clock.
This could be a disaster for Eastern if they score.
Holt going to roll out right side. He's going to look at deep, wide open receiver. He got it to Weithman. He's at the 10. He's cutting to the 5. He's trying to make a move to the end zone. He's not quite there. No, they're going to say he's down.
He's down on the 1, man.
At the 1-yard line. Holt's like waving everybody out. He's like, hey, we're right there. We're right there. Come on, let's push it into the end zone right now. They want to get out there quickly. Great pitch and catch to Weithman. Got 32 on that play. They'll put McMichael in the backfield. Actually, they get a couple of bodies. Everybody's packed in tight. Holt turns around, gives it to McMichael. He's going to get stopped, but it doesn't matter. He fell forward, and he is in the end zone. Connor McMichael has now got 3 touchdowns, and Colonel Crawford is up 27-0.
Yeah, on the long pass play is Eastern's just having a really tough time getting their outside linebackers depth.
Yes.
And so they're running guys deep, and the corners are going with them, and then those guys are running underneath, and there's just no one there. And I think they've done a really smart thing of putting Connor Weithman a lot in the slot rather than as a split end.
Snap down, hold down, and the kick is through. And just like that, with 36 seconds left in the first half, Colonel Crawford takes the 28-0 lead over the Eastern Eagles. We'll take time out, and we'll be right back. Halftime awaits. It's right around the corner, but Colonel Crawford needs one more defensive stand before halftime. Thanks for joining us here for high school football on Country Legends AM 1540, 107.5 FM, WBCO, streaming live on the OH.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Yes.
Already up. Durst picks it up, and he'll bring it back out to the, excuse me, that was Edwards. He'll take it out to the 21-yard line with 28 seconds left in the first half. I don't know what Coach Jason Jackson has dialed up here or what he can think about, because problem is he's down 4 touchdowns and his team does not get the ball to start the second half.
Exactly, and they have no timeout, so I look for him. He's just going to hand the ball off and
maybe
go
just
to the
try to lick
locker
the
room and
wounds.
see if he can make some adjustments.
Well, the reality is the adjustment he's got to think about is, all right, defensive adjustments, because I got to get a stop because I can't let them score, because if it gets to the running clock, there's pretty much no coming back.
It's just impossible to come back with a running clock.
They're going to just quick snap and handoff going right up the middle. There's Yonker. Nice little run right there. Get himself a first down, probably got 11. Obviously, Crawford playing a little bit deeper there, just trying to prevent the big play. But Yonker going to get 11 yards on first down. Ball now 31-yard line.
They do have with 7 first downs. So.
Yeah, that's at least they got that. But 10 seconds left here.
No points,
yeah,
unfortunately.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. You can't get that part. Yonker straight up the middle on the quarterback draw. He's going to be drugged down after about a 5.
Crawford
they say
they got
fumbled.
the ball.
Did they get it? And Crawford did. They got the ball. They got 3 seconds left on the clock. Yonker went right up the middle and fumbled it. He got 5 yards, and then we went down. And now let's see. Coach Bruner, does he want to just try to throw one up to the end zone here?
4 verticals, Jeff. 4 verticals.
4 verticals.
I'm calling for it.
Exactly. You know what? The coaching staff's right above us here in the press box. Just yell up to him. 4 verts.
4 verts. Well, they got 4 guys back.
They got 4 guys back now.
They got 4 guys back. They're
right.
covered 4
Send
now.
5 now. All right, whatever. No. We'll see what they do with 3
it
seconds
only takes
left.
one guy
That's
to run
true.
by one of them.
Exactly. All righty, so we'll see. They've going to put Baker back in there. He's got McMichael with him. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Baker is going to drop back. He's at the 45. He's going to stop. Oh, he's going to get blasted from behind. And, boy, ball came out. Boy, he got crushed. Absolutely destroyed by Mason Shepard. The senior got through, and I think he released some of the anger after a tough first half. So
absolutely.
That'll do it. We'll head to halftime after 1 half of play here from Colonel Crawford High School. The Eagles of Colonel Crawford taking it to the Eagles of Reedsville Eastern. Our score, 28-0. Stay tuned. We'll have our halftime report and show coming up right after this break here on Country Legends AM 1540, 107.5 FM, WBCO, and the OH Report.
Being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
I'm Steve Krall, president of First Federal Community Bank. And here at First Federal Community Bank, our playbook consists of the 3 C's: care, curiosity, and courage. Just like your team, our 3 C's strengthen our communities and our team here at First Federal Community Bank. On behalf of our team here at First Federal, we want to wish all of our area teams and coaches the best of luck this season. Yes!
Next on the Ohio News Network.
Bex recognizes this week's Player with Heart, Gordon Ayers from Otsego High School, for his commitment and passion on the field and within the farming community.
What I really
Let's give a big Colonel Crawford round of applause for the 2025 Eastern Reidsville Marching Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Mr. Justin Cooper and Assistant Randy Cordial, Colonel Crawford High School proudly presents your 2025 Eagle Marching Band. In 1987, Guns N' Roses welcomed us to the jungle with a riff that ignites the band field with pure rock energy. Your CCHS Marching Eagles are blazing a trail through the night. Rock out with Guns N' Roses' Sweet Child O' Mine. In 1965, the Rolling Stones painted it black and sparked a rebellion that echoes through the ages. Your CCHS Marching Eagles bring an unstoppable vibe to life. Crank it up for the Rolling Stones, can't get no satisfaction.
Charlie.
By Fire Avita, igniting care.
Halftime score here from Colonel Crawford High School. The Eagles holding on to a 28-0 advantage over Reidsville Eastern. And the Division 6 Region 23 first round of the playoffs. Winner once again taking on the number 4 seed Mount Gilead. And, Tim, at this point in time, it feels like unless Eastern coach Coach Jackson, Jason Jackson's got some sort of miracle planned up and something really impressive in terms of a game plan, halftime plan. It feels like the Eagles of Colonel Crawford are, sliding forward in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, the first drive they got the penalty, so they got behind the sticks and up punting.
Yeah.
But since then, there hasn't been a whole lot of push against their offense. Their offense has pretty much done what they wanted. Got that big first down on 3rd and 20 for that last drive. He's got that touchdown in, and so, I would be shocked if we didn't see a running clock.
Yeah. At this point in time, Colonel Crawford, not only with the 4-scorer lead, but also getting the ball to start the second half, ended up leading the way. Connor McMichael, 3 touchdowns in the first half, 91 yards rushing. As a team, 120 but you were talking about balance for Colonel Crawford, and that is as balanced as you can get. They got 120 on the ground, 145 in the air. Braxton Holt really been on fire, 7 of 9, 129 yards, 1 touchdown pass. So ultimately, at this point in time with Colonel Crawford, if you can throw the ball and run the ball and you can do it equally effectively, what do you do defensively?
Yeah, exactly. They haven't stopped anything. I mean, like I said, we keep harping on it, but the Eastern is just sitting in that cover 3.
Yep.
They're dropping the guys deep to make sure that Weissman, that someone doesn't run by them.
Yep.
And although DeGray did get behind him the one time down the seam, but Weissman's playing in the slot and he's just running all the underneath stuff, catching it and then making plays.
Yeah, Parker Weissman, 6 catches, 98 yards, according to my super unofficial numbers.
I think I was 99, so we're pretty close. So we're either both way off or pretty good.
So at this point in time, when you look at it, if you got McMichael running the ball with 91 yards or so, Weissman with almost 100 yards in receiving, those are the 2 main guys in terms of running and receiving. They're both having big nights. No wonder Colonel Crawford is just kind of moving the ball and scoring at will.
Oh, exactly. And then Eastern, even though they got that one drive going, they just have a little over 100 yards of offense.
Yeah.
So they haven't done a whole lot, and Crawford keeps getting short fields. 200 yards of offense, and that was having often a short field. And so they've been very solid, and it looks like they're well on their way to earning a trip on to Mount Gilead next week.
So ultimately, at this point in time, if you are Coach Jackson for Eastern, you're going in, and obviously you got to make some defensive adjustments, as we talked about, because that's the first thing you have to do. If the clock starts to run, there's no way to really come back. That's the one thing I think we've learned throughout this running clock era.
It's just so tough. I mean, because it gets to a point where that clock's running, and you say, all right, well, let's get a penalty on this down, because why these guys are talking it over, doing all this. Oh, the clock's running.
Right. Yes.
And so it just doesn't stop for anything hardly, and you don't have much time, so it's very difficult to come back. And their problem is, when it gets stopped, or if they don't get a stop, even if they start scoring, they still, like you said earlier, they got to get some stops.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it just stays that 30-point lead, and the clock keeps running.
And ultimately, I mean, it does feel like watching it, while, this Eastern team's got some nice athletes, they do feel a little bit overwhelmed by the athleticism and, quite honestly, in ways, the physicality of Colonel Crawford.
Oh, absolutely. And we talked about it a little bit pregame to ourselves, but, it seems that, often, the teams come from, way down in southeastern Ohio when they come up here, whether it's with a good record, bad record, indifferent. But, Coach Brunner watched them on film and said, they got great size, they got some speed.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's like, but they're just not very physical.
They just don't have it. They're
just not very physical compared to the way these guys are. I mean,
yeah.
Crawford's, they didn't have a great non-league schedule, but in the N10, there's just some physical football being played this year.
Well, and
I mean, between Cary, Mohawk, and Seneca East, it's very physical.
Sure is. And those teams beat each other up an awful lot throughout the regular season. So while they've got some weeks that they can kind of, rest a little bit, and I don't know, just – I'm not trying to disparage some of the other teams, but the reality is the top half of the N10, like you said, there are teams, Cary's always known for being able to run the football, power running. It's aggressive, and it's the way they're going to play. And all the other teams have to know if you want to beat them, you got to be able to match that, so they all kind of prepare accordingly.
Right, yeah. And I mean, obviously Crawford is ready.
Yeah.
I mean, they always are. I mean, they're always very well prepared. Going in, I mean, their coaching staff's going to do a very good job of getting them ready to play.
Sure.
And so, we've talked about, you can, you trade film. I mean, you get to watch 3 films.
Sure. But
then, Coach Bruner's been around a long time, so he's got a lot of guys he knows all over the state of Ohio. So it's like, hey, can you give me some more film? Can you shoot me one on Huddle? Can you guys shoot me one on Huddle? Look at your game. Probably the only guy he might not know is the guy that coached at Wahama.
He probably knows him, too.
And he may know him, too.
Or he knows a guy who knows him.
There you go. That's how I was. It was like, hey, I know a guy that I got to call so-and-so. The next thing you know, you'd have 10 films.
Exactly.
It's like, okay.
Fair enough. It works well.
We're going to be ready.
Exactly. We're going to take one more time out. Second half is on the way. Colonel Crawford 28, Eastern 0. We'll be right back for the second half here on the Division 6 Region 23 playoffs on WBCO and streaming live on the OH Report.
In business and ag banking, it's not just about the numbers, it's about the people. At First Federal Community Bank, we believe relationships are the foundation of every successful partnership. We can help you grow your farm through various ag programs, including working with our local FSA offices, as well as Farmer Mac. We have many commercial business programs to help make your day-to-day operations easy and convenient. Because when you bank with us, you're not just a customer, you're family.
Nothing, our halftime score here from Colonel Crawford as we get ready for the second half. Just give a little bit of updates on other scores. We were talking about how good the N10 was this year. Actually, the teams that are playing tonight, Seneca East, actually they just let up their first score, but they still have a 15-7 lead over Woodmore. Mohawk putting it on Montpelier. That's 21-0 in that game. In looking it around, I mean, some of our local teams, Ontario struggling a little bit with your alma mater.
There are a lot of teams struggle with that.
I was going to say, but no shame there. 35-0 the score in that game. And again, Clear Fork down 28-0 to Orville. So a lot of local teams, playing tonight. Ridgedale getting taken to by Gibsonburg. And again, that's part of what you end up seeing in that first round or two in the playoffs is with these teams who are come from all over the place when they come together, as I think what we're seeing here tonight. And what Eastern's finding out is that it's like they come into it going, we're a really good team. We won 7 games this year, and we played good teams. And then they go up to another area, and they're like, oh, boy, this is a little different than anything we saw in the year.
Who did guys play?
Exactly. Who beat them?
And we talked about watching so much film and everything, but I remember some years, when one year in particular we played West Lafayette Ridgewood in the regional final. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I was coaching at Fredericktown, we played in the regional final, and we watched all this tape on them. And it was like, we're going to be all right. we're good. And we ended up having a terrific game with them, but they were so fast.
Right.
That apparently most of the games we watched, the other teams must have been really fast because they didn't look that fast on tape. And it was like, holy moly. They'll
go for the onside kick. They jumped off sides, I think, in the process. So, unfortunately, despite the fact that their kicker, Hayden Wilcoxon, who kind of came up as a lefty, he came up like he was rolling up on it, and then he crossed across his body and tried to catch him not ready for it. But unfortunately, the way he angled it, or maybe somebody else came through, running through. So sure enough, there's the offside. So penalty, third one.
And it looked like they may have had a chance of recovering it. But,
unfortunately,
they're offside, so now Crawford has scooted everybody up.
They know it's coming, exactly.
Let's see, if you want to try it again, we're ready.
You were talking about what they've seen throughout the season, and you were talking about Wahama out of West Virginia, a team that was undefeated on the season. They lost to them 27-10 this year, so they haven't seen anything like they've seen from Crawford at this point in time. They're going to pop that one up, and it's going to be fair caught, as I like to say, as we're talking baseball. They're going to get at the 35-yard line on the pop-up, kind of infield fly rule. So,
yeah, it was funny. I was listening. You talk about the baseball in the World Series. I was listening to the radio today, and even they stopped talking about the Buckeyes long enough to say, all right, compare what Ohtani did in the one game he pitched and hit the home runs.
Right.
And they're going, well, it would be like if Travis Hunter could play quarterback.
Yes.
And had 3 interceptions and threw 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns at a football game.
It's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, and especially in that 18-inning game, he got on base 9 times.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is happening right now?
Exactly.
First and 10 from the 35 for Colonel Crawford. They'll come out with Baker. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to look down the field. Nothing there. He's going to get in the pocket. Now he's going to throw it away. I don't know if there's no receiver over there.
But he's out of the pocket, so.
He
got past the line of scrimmage.
They'll call it out of the pocket. I'm fine with it. But
they're going to talk it over.
Yeah, that is.
I don't know why he just didn't fire it over someone's head on this side.
I say it all the time. I'm like, I never know really what they're thinking. I know it's the game's moving fast. I get it, but just there it is. There's the. I knew it was coming. I was like,
that's going to be a big one too. That's a loss of down. He was back on like the 25-yard line.
Sure was. So, because if you look at it, I mean, there is not a soul where he was throwing the ball at.
Like, again. The years I've coached quarterbacks for a long time.
Yep.
We used to practice throwing it away.
Sure. Yep.
I said, no, we got to practice this. You need to understand when no one's open, we're not taking a sack and we're not throwing an interception.
Yep.
Live to play another down. We're good.
Brutal penalty, like you said.
Yeah, it's way back there.
So set that back. They'll put the ball at their 22-yard line. So
it goes from the 13-yard penalty.
2nd and 23, or 22, I guess is what they're, 23. So we'll see what they can do here. 2nd down, Baker going to drop back, look to throw. They're going to set up a screen. They got it to McMichael. He's got blocking. He's going to cut up in the middle. He dropped the ball. Ball's out, and I think, they sure did. Eastern got it. They're going to recover that ball about the 35-yard line. So Connor McMichael trying to cut into the middle on a screen pass that looks like he had some blocking, but he just was like, I'm going to go to the middle of the field, and nice job defensively, causing the first turnover of the game on Colonel Crawford.
Well, and that's just what Coach Jackson would hope for.
Yep.
He didn't recover the onside kick because of the penalty, but now he's got a short field and in pretty good shape here.
Yeah, 11:44 on the clock here. It's basically like they started with the football.
Absolutely.
Start the half. Ball's at the 36-yard line of Colonel Crawford. We'll see what adjustments they made offensively as they have kept Yonker in shotgun. They've got Edwards in there with him. And the ball's going to get past Yonker. He's just going to have to drop on top of it, and it's going to lose 5 yards. He started running before he had the ball in his hands. And Edwards was kind of taking off as a lead blocker for him.
Well, you're saying let's look at the adjustments they make offensively. Defensively, I think their adjustment was we're going to bring a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Because they blitzed every time that Crawford threw the ball.
Well, they weren't getting heat
blitzed.
on him in the first half, that's for sure. They're going to do the end-around run, coming around with it. There's Edwards. He's going to cut inside. And the ball's out from
loose
him.
again.
Crawford's going to pick that one up as they'll turn it right back over. About an 8-yard pickup. Well, really, it was about a 3-yard pickup, and then the ball just fell that way. Sure enough, a couple of bodies on top of it. I'm going to give Cochran the credit for the strip, and Dom Dean's going to pick it up. So there's the turnover, second one of the game that goes against Eastern.
So that was kind of a wash.
Yep, sure was. It's like it never happened. So we'll see what happens here, and if Colonel Crawford's going to be like, all right, we tried to throw the ball twice. Forget that nonsense. Let's just go back to running. But no, they're set up with Holt. He's got all split receivers.
Well, he's in empty look.
Yep, sure is. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Holt going to just throw it out to the outside. There it is. Nice pitch out there. Quickly getting to the edge and being brought there. I think was that Lash? Tyler Lash, I think, making that catch.
I believe it was.
So first catch for Tyler Lash on the nice little pitch out there from Braden Holt. 4-yard pickup. So ball at the 40-yard line of Colonel Crawford. 10:30 and counting in the clock here in the third quarter. Holt in shotgun. He'll fake that one, go over to the other side. It's Whiteman.
He's got
space.
Of room.
He's at the 40 to 50. He just explodes down into the Eastern territory, and he's going to get pulled out of bounds at the 40-yard line. 20-yard pickup. At one point in time, you just got to look at, a coaching staff and say, all right, this kid's their fastest player. You can't give him 10 yards with nobody near him.
Yeah, they're giving him that 10-yard run before anyone sees him. And again, nice blocking downfield by the wide receiver and quick 20-yard gain.
1st and 10 from the 40. Holt. He's going to drop the ball as it got through his hands, and they're going to lose 7-8 yards on that play.
Yeah, this thing's getting a little sloppy on both sides.
Sure is. They'll lose 8.
Simple mistakes.
So 2nd down and 18 as the ball's at the 48-yard line of Eastern. Under 10 minutes on the clock here in the third. Colonel Crawford with a 28-0 lead. Again, one more score. If they can get it up, they get that clock running. That's the running clock makes it nearly impossible for teams to come back. So they already got Eastern on their heels, but we'll see what they can do. 2nd and 18. Holt looking to throw.
Got plenty of time.
And then he throws it out there. Nice grab.
Oh, he's going to say he's out of bounds.
No, they're going to say he's out of bounds. Okay, nice. Trying to dive and keep those feet in over there. That was Cochran. He was looking for Jacob Cochran on the edge. He had the space. Receiver was open, and he had nothing but time to throw the ball.
Just threw it a little wide.
Let him a little bit too much.
Well, this is one where they need to gain 10 or 12 yards to make it a 4th and 6 or 7.
3rd down and 18. They've yet to run the football here since
same thing they did the first series to start the game.
Yeah, exactly. In the second, so we'll see what they do here. Holt going to fake the handoff to McMichael. He'll roll off to the right, and he's going to set up McMichael the other way. He's wide open. He's going to run over a defender, and he's going to be darn close to that first down. I think he probably got it. I think he needed to get right to that line, and he did. 18-yard pickup to Connor McMichael. Defense lost him coming out of the backfield. Outstanding play.
Well, he rolled away and then threw it back. So he had trips going the other way and all kinds of people down the field, and McMichael just went out the back door, and there was no one over there until he gained 18 yards and a first down.
Yep, 1st down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Once again, Holt going to hand it off. It's McMichael. He's going to get inside. He's going to kind of just break through. He's just dragging a body with him. They had him right at the line of scrimmage, but he just said, all right, I'm just going to carry you with me 5 yards before you can bring me down.
Exactly what he did. He didn't have it wasn't blocked really well, but McMichael that time got 5 on his own, maybe even 6.
Yep. 2nd down. Yep, you're right. They'll give him 6 for it. Once again, McMichael in the backfield alone with Holt. Shotgun formation, left side. stacked right defensive or the tight ends, and they're just going to keep it with Holt running around the left side edge, and that'll get him another first down. Braden Holt.
Holt, the ball carrier, he's run out of bounds.
Excellent life run.
When you're under center, they call that a naked bootleg.
Yep.
You know, but he just faked it and went out the backside, and there was no one over there till he stepped out of bounds.
I actually thought he had the first down,
So
but they're
did
going to
I,
say
but
he's about a
there-
half yard short. So they'll do third down and a half yard here. Holt in the backfield alone this time with the three receivers to the right, one or two to the left. He'll just throw it out to that right side. There it is, short little pass out there. Got it to Lash. First down. Made a guy miss, and he's going to get out there and drug down after about an 8-yard pickup. Nice play right there to Tyler Lash. Got to give it credit in terms of saying for Colonel Crawford, they are very much taking what Eastern is giving them.
Well, they went empty, and they had everyone spread out and just really ran kind of a bubble screen to Lash. And he had a couple guys out in front to block for him, and went down with a nice 8 or 9 yard gain and another first down for the Colonel Crawford Eagles.
8:21 on the clock. They'll fake the handoff. Slant play to Weithman. He got him. He's going to
in.
jump over and get into the end zone. Parker Weithman, 13-yard touchdown. Nice pitch right there from Braden Holt. Weithman looked like he was bobbling the ball a little bit, was able to get a handle of it. Defender went low. He hopped over the top of him, leaped into the end zone, and the 13-yard score gives Colonel Crawford the 34-0 lead.
Braden Holt having a night. He's almost 200 yards throwing it, and I think he's only thrown 3 incompletions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can tell you right now, I'm probably as much as anything impressed by his efficiency.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Extra point from Zizzo is up. It's good. 7:35 on the clock, and it will be running when we return. Colonel Crawford with a 35-0 lead over Eastern. We'll be right back.
He's going to send a line drive down the field. It'll be fielded on the bounce. That is Schieffer. Schieffer finds a hole at the center. Schieffer turns on the burners. Schieffer could go. He's at the 50, 45. He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Whitford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
$7:34 on the clock here. Colonel Crawford with the 35-0 lead over Reidsville Eastern as we'll move to the running clock here in the third quarter. And like I said, unless there's some sort of miracle, it does probably, that running clock probably puts the nail in the coffin on the season for the Eastern Eagles because, see, even on the, when you're looking at even the kickoff here, they kind of pull back and they won't kick it off until there are 2 seconds left, and there it is. It's going deep now. This is Edwards going to pick it up at around the 9-yard line coming up. He's going to be about the 19-yard line, brought down. We'll see if he got it to the 20. Man, and, for Ethan Edwards, who was a 3-year starter at quarterback, as we said, gets into the running back spot, and he's been the guy that they've gone to all season long, averaging 11 yards a carry. He's going to be going home going, man, nothing came easy tonight.
Tonight he's averaging about 3.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, nothing worked out. I mean,
yeah.
I caught 3 passes too, but quite honestly, at the end of the day, not gone the way that he's accustomed to.
Not at all. Not at all. And, it's just Crawford's defense does a great job of pursuing to the football. And, they're down guys that can make plays. Their linebackers run to the ball well.
Yonker from shotgun. He's going to hit the slant. Oh, he would have hit the slant, but Lloyd dropped it. Colton Lloyd, the 6'5 receiver, gives him a big target, but hit him in the hands, and he
had a
couldn't
little
hold on to
space.
it.
Had a little space
Sure
too.
Did. Yep.
And just ran a slant, and he got underneath everybody and got into that seam and dropped it.
Sure did. Clock's at 5:50 and moving here. Ball at the 19-yard line. Yonker shotgun. He's going to look left side. He'll pitch a quick pass, and boy, he made the completion, but tackle came in right away. John DeGray put the hit on, and he hits Ethan Edwards. Probably got about 5 yards on that play. But again, you know what? That's the type of thing that I always say that, I always find strange is how many coaches don't want to. That's what they'll give you. They'll give you 5 yards. Sometimes that's what you got to take against a team like Crawford that's really talented. They'll roll him out and just try to throw left side, but he's trying to throw it over the outstretched arms of Payne DeGray. And I understand one thing I say all the time about DeGray, for as physical as he plays, he's super athletic from that defensive end position. But at 6'5", his arms are very long. And so when he gets them up in the air, it's like trying to throw it over, a 8.5-foot target that's right in
Yonker
front of you.
hasn't been sacked a lot, but he's still going to have nightmares of Payne DeGray pushing him to the ground every time I throw the ball.
He's like, I can't get away from these
It's
guys.
like, golly.
So 4:38 and counting on the clock, and it's a 4th and 5 now. Probably a 4.5. So we'll see what Eastern can dial up here. Yonker looks to make a quick throw out of the backfield. He got it to his back, and he's going to just fall himself forward. That's a good, strong effort right there by Parker Durst to get the first down. He got hit immediately when he caught the ball.
These guys are getting pounded as they catch it. And, but they're holding on.
Sure is.
But, John DeGray is such an interesting, he plays defensive tackle, he plays offensive tackle, yet he's an all-league basketball player.
Yeah, I know it exactly.
So
it's crazy.
He's obviously pretty agile.
Yeah, he's all right. You're going to roll it out. Going to go Yonker left side on the rollout. He's just going to do the underhand pitch out. Did he get it to his guy? Yep, he got it to him.
He got it to him about a 3 or 4 yard gain.
Bassam again. 25 this time. So Ronnie Golden, first catch for him. That's going to go for about 3. So 2nd down and 7 facing Reidsville Eastern. There is a flag on the play.
Uh-oh.
Is what they're saying.
Hold. Oh, okay. Well, then take that off the screen.
Forget what we just said right there.
So Golden gets nothing.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Ronnie Golden.
Eastern's going back probably 10 yards.
Yep. Back that up. That will be a 10-yard
And the worst part is, while they're discussing it and figuring it out,
the clock is
still
keeps
running.
rolling.
It's like, come on, let's get the discussion over with.
Coaches
guys.
are like, you're killing me here. I at least want to make it respectful. But
it's like, come on.
1st and 20 from the 20. Yonker looks to make the throw downfield. Nowhere to go, and they're going to trip him up and drag him down.
The big fella,
I think that was
that time.
Will Somm. Yep, big body. Got him at the ankle and tripped him up. That's Yonker, 4-yard loss on that play. Tell you right now, I'm going to have to, before the game next time we get Crawford, we're going to get in touch with the PA announcement. We got to get all these nicknames.
Yeah.
And there's way too many of them. I didn't write any of them down. It was a huge error. They're going to throw the ball deep down the field. It's going to
get picked.
Throw out there, and it's going to be picked off. Bringing it in there. That is going to be David Reich. They went with a deep throw down. They tried to kind of stack 3 receivers and just have them all run verticals. And Yonker gets that one picked off. Nice defense once again. Colonel Crawford, they're on it tonight.
Yeah, just great coverage. I mean, he had a guy in front of him, and Reich was back deep, and he became the receiver.
Yeah, I sure did. So with 1:35 and counting on the clock here, Colonel Crawford will get the football back. They've got the 35-0 lead. They'll bring Baker back in to play the quarterback position. They've got him alone in the backfield. nope, they're going to run some bodies out here. Nope, and then they'll run one off. And there's guys who's like, all right, this is the play as they got through out there last minute. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Baker going to turn, throw. He connects it. That's DeGray. I think it was DeGray.
Yeah, it was.
I was going to say, I don't know a lot of other guys who play receiver who are built like that. So John DeGray, pick up 4.
Well, John DeGray is very similar to the size of the young man that plays wide receiver, with Colton Lloyd. But to be quite honest, John DeGray doesn't drop many passes.
No, exactly.
So,
well,
and Lloyd's had trouble pulling it in.
John DeGray has a lifetime of basketball against his brother and things like that.
Oh,
So he's got a little physicality in him, too. So there you go. There is the handoff coming around. This is going to be a new back, Avery Powers. Powers, we see him a lot at this point in time when the games finally get out of hand. They bring him in, and every time he comes in, I think, okay, well, there's the future back. Okay.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore.
He's only a sophomore, 6'4", 200 pounds. That's going to be the last play of the third quarter. So we will take the timeout right now. Colonel Crawford with a 35-0 lead over Reidsville Eastern. We'll be back with the final quarter of play right here on WBCO and streaming live on the OH Report.
All right.
You're home for all.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Can happen to anyone. Store your guns locked, unlocked. And the Ad Council.
With 11:50 now and counting already, it's going to be Baker looking to drop. He'll make the throw. Thew makes a nice catch there. He'll make one guy miss. He's 5 yards downfield. He's going to cut up a little bit, probably get about 6 or 7 right there before Rowan Thew is going to be brought down to the ground. Baker led him a little bit on that one, and Thew was able to just go up and grab that one with the hands. Outstanding catch.
Picks up 7 yards. 2nd and 3, Colonel Crawford.
Yep, go 7 on that play.
Crawford continues to throw it a little bit, working on the throwing game, and they throw the ball short and then gain a few extra yards.
This time they'll stack more bodies inside. Everybody's in tight. And, that play, that was not set up properly. I could even tell from up here. I was like, that can't be right. And Coach Bruner didn't like it. He'll take a timeout with 11 minutes on the clock here in the final
Tesso
quarter.
is in the game at running back now.
Yep, sure is. And Tesso will come in. 35-0 our score. Like you said, it's going to be the next tier of players coming in for Colonel Crawford. Don't want to lose anybody at this point in time with
heck no.
Silly injuries when you're up 5 scores.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what goes on next week with this is the first year ever in the playoffs in Ohio high school where teams had byes.
Yes, exactly.
So let's see how the teams that get the byes react.
Well, I always kind of thought it was, football's a little different. It's such a different animal than basketball.
Right.
But there were so many basketball coaches over the years that never wanted a first-round bye.
Well, I often chose to play.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't want their guys sitting around that long. Again, football's a little different because sometimes you got guys who are banged up and you want them to rest a little bit. So, but still, it will be interesting to see how many of them have rust after sitting around for an extra week.
Yeah, well, the college football playoffs last year, that seemed to be an issue with the teams that got a bye since they all lost.
It's true. 2nd and 3 here. Baker going to go under center. Like you said, Tesso, only one behind him, but they will put a guy in motion. That is Thew. He was coming around the edge, and, man, they were ready for him. 2-yard loss.
Absolutely.
Outstanding job there from Eastern getting into the backfield, cutting low on Rowan Thew. So,
well, Tesso was his lead blocker, and unfortunately, his lead blocker was not like a pulling guard. It was a 165-pound running back.
And quite honestly, I know this is going to be I shouldn't say this because I don't have a scale, but my eye check says that's a gift.
Yeah.
They put some weights in his pocket.
I would like to get on his scale.
Exactly. So 3rd down, they'll need about 6. They'll turn around. They'll give it to Tesso.
He is a
He'll
hard
go
runner.
up the middle.
Got a couple.
He got a couple before he's knocked down to the ground. So Madden Tesso's first run probably gets him 2. Got about a 4th down and 4 facing Colonel Crawford. 10 minutes on the clock here in the 4th quarter. 35-0, the lead.
John DeGray checks in, watch the pass going to him.
Right. He's like,
if they choose to throw it.
Again, Baker in there. He's talking to his 2 backs. Avery Powers back in. Madden Tesso with him. They'll turn around. They'll fake the handoff. He's going to look to throw. Baker in trouble. Now he'll throw it, not just throwing it away, but it's 4th down, so that will turn the ball over and downs.
But unlike a normal football game, the clock still runs.
That's correct. Exactly. He actually just threw it to Coach Bruner as I'm looking at it on the replay on OH.REPORT.
Well, you know.
And I got to be honest with you, Coach Bruner was kind of showing he was a lineman because those hands were not impressive.
Yes. No, not at all. Not at all.
So his son, who played tight end here at Crawford, clearly did not get his hands from his dad.
I don't know who coached Coach Bruner at Otterbein, but they would have not been impressed with that.
They're like 2 hands, Bruner.
He also
2
played
hands.
at Otterbein.
Yes, he did.
With a good friend of mine, Will Hartley, who was the head coach at Fredericktown for a while.
Oh, yeah. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Eastern gets the ball back, and we'll see a flag come out, and there will be a
I don't think they all got
procedure penalty on Eastern, so I think that's their 5th flag, according to my sloppy numbers.
I have the same.
And like you said, Tim, as the penalty's not bad enough, but then you look up and you say, you just watch 30 seconds burn off a clock as the officials move the ball.
Yeah, I don't think the guy that's marking it the 5 yards off is a 4.340 man.
And even if he was, he ain't gonna do that right now. He's like,
not,
I'll do
no
a slow walk.
There.
I will slow
take time
walk.
because
Exactly.
Because that'll get us out of here early too.
1st and 15 from the 39. They'll go ahead and run the option, and they'll go ahead and keeping it as Yonker. He's going to take about 4 or 5 yards before he's drugged down to the ground. Kind of ran into some bodies right there. Nice little play. Again, I think talk to most coaches who've been around. Running the option is not the easiest thing to run, which is the reason why so many teams went away from it. But if you can do it and do it well, it can be immensely effective.
Jeff, you got their roster over there.
Yep.
Did I make a mistake? Yonker does not look like he is 6'2".
I would agree with that. There, he's going to drop back to throw. He's going to look deep, and he's got a receiver there. Cornerback comes up and is able to not stop the catch. That's Edwards. Deep throw down the field. Like you said, defender had the time the ball hung up in the air so long. I thought he was going to be able to get up in front of it, but instead the defender ran behind him. McCartney, 37-yard pickup to Ethan Edwards down the field. That'll do.
Yeah, he just ended up overrunning it. He caught up and kept running.
So this time Yonker is going to fake that pitch. Now he will give the pitch. He'll get around one guy, pitch it over to Durst, who's going to run a few yards before he gets pushed out of bounds. 6:40 and counting on the clock here, 3-yard pickup.
That was one of those options where Durst may be walking back that huddle and saying,
yeah.
What'd you pitch it to me for?
What are you doing? Thanks for nothing.
I got smacked instead of you now.
Exactly.
I was like that, though.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if I get really hit hard, it's my fault. I could have pitched it.
Absolutely. 2nd and 7. Yonker going to look for the end zone. Nope, he's going to go throw it short. Edwards, that's a great catch.
That's a great catch.
That's outstanding on the sideline. I'll tell you what, you got to give it up to Ethan Edwards. His last game here as a senior, and he's doing everything he can to at least get some points on the board for his team.
Absolutely.
Ethan Edwards, 6th catch of the game. So 5:50 and counting on the clock. The ball down at the 9-yard line of Colonel Crawford. Eastern, shotgun formation. Yonker going to roll left side. Hit 3 receivers that way. He gets it over to him, and it's going to be Edwards. Makes a move, made a guy miss, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Eastern. Ethan Edwards, 9-yard play. Nice little play right there by Ethan Edwards. Very impressed.
Yeah, nice drive. And, Crawford had a few subs mixed in with a couple starters here and there. But, nice drive by Reidsville Eastern. Gets on the board, and at least they can go home with something positive out of this thing tonight.
Ethan Edwards, the senior, who we said was a 3-year starter at quarterback. They moved him to running back. Tonight, he's the leading receiver for him, and now he's going to hold for the kicker, Hayden Wilcoxon. Ball's down, and there's the kick up. Got it. So with 5:35 on the clock here, we are out of the running clock as Colonel Crawford holds on to the 35-7 lead after the score from Eastern. We'll be right back after this break on WBCO and streaming live on the OH Report.
Avita Home Health and Hospice is locally owned, locally managed. All of our staff, our board, everybody are members of the local community. Our medical director is a member of our local community and has practiced in Bucyrus for over the last 10 years. When you call in, you're getting a local person. The nurses that you talk to all live, work, and recreate in your community. I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years and I've taken care of 3 generations of some families. We're the hometown people.
Clock here in the 4th quarter. Colonel Crawford now with the 35-7 score, the lead after Eastern gets the score on the board. First touchdown, nice catch right there, and play by Ethan Edwards. Couple of nice plays by him on that drive. They'll go for the onside kick. Ball hits the deck as I think Eastern may have got it.
They did.
Yep.
Boy, Crawford had their hands team
they
in.
Sure
but,
did.
I think he.
Ball kind of ricocheted away from Randall Somm.
Was it Somm?
Yeah, it was Randall Somm.
Yeah, it was Somm.
And it got away from him.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Eastern able to get on top of that ball. So with 5:31 on the clock, they're down 28 points. But
a lot of English on that kick, and it just got away from him.
Yep. Bent it like Beckham.
Yeah.
Not that I know anything about that sport.
No.
But substitutions coming in for Colonel Crawford here, last minute. And there's the snap in the air as they were running guys on the field. They're just trying to get out of the backfield and drop over there from Durst. Parker Durst, the intended receiver. I don't know what we were talking, I watched a couple of games. I know you did in terms of Eastern trying to kind of figure out who they were. And I don't know what Braxton Yonkers, the most passes he threw in a game this season. But
I would imagine it's pretty close.
This might be it, at 21 pass attempts, whatever it is. He'll turn, throw again. He got his receiver that time, and that is, I think that was Ronnie Golden. Yep, sure was. His first catch of the game. Well, he caught one earlier, but they called it back, so we'll go him 9 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 1. We'll huddle up for a second, come down. 5 minutes on the clock and counting. 3rd and 1. Yonker, he's going to go right behind his running back, and he's got a little bit of a hole. He's going to get down to the 20-yard line before he's drugged down from behind. Nice 19-yard run for Braxton Yonker. Tyler Lash brings him down. But nice run right there. Ball at the 20-yard line. They're going to roll out right side, looking underneath, got his receiver. There's Ronnie Golden again. And Golden going to pick up a first down. Probably got about 12 on that play. They'll set that ball down at the 8-yard line.
Ronnie Golden, the ball carrier.
Tell you what, I think for some of these backups, they're realizing, playoff football is a little different.
Yeah.
For Colonel Crawford, that is. And the timeout going to be called by Coach Bruner, as he's like, I've watched enough of this sloppiness from this defense, so he's going to call the timeout, reassess. Comes with 4:34 left on the clock, 35-7 our score. We'll be right back after this break.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
Avita Home.
Tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all,
right,
have
guys,
a better story to tell. Get
5,
started at ready.gov
4, 3,
/older adults.
2,
Brought to you by Female
you're live.
Ad Council.
Option play ran there, and it was Parker Durst getting around the edge. Durst gets 4 yards there, so 4:10 on the clock. There is going to be Yonker. He's going to roll out left side, throws a pass. Oh, and he had a shot there. Golden dropped it in the end zone. That would have been a touchdown. Couldn't pull it in. Ronnie Golden.
Well, you're going to look at Yonker's numbers throwing the ball, and it's going to say, boy, he's not very accurate, but he
hasn't been helped.
3 or 4 drops.
Yep. Ronnie Golden, their roster, 6 foot, he's 6 foot, 203 pound senior, and they've got him listed as linebacker. So on offense, they've had him out in these things, but they're going to go into the quarterback draw, going right up the middle, and he's going to get stacked up. Maybe got a yard or two. Yonker not able to get there. So 4th down and 4. And we'll see what happens now. 35-7, the Crawford advantage. Eastern just trying to make this thing more respectable. Already got 1 score on the board here in the 4th. Once again, shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He's going to roll out left side, throw it over there, and he got it. Oh, the receiver had a shot. Cornerback decided to run in front of it. Gabe Stratton tried to cut in front of that one, couldn't get it, and he was trying to get it to Edwards.
Did he get a fingertip on it?
Maybe.
Did you see the ball spin a little weird?
It
I don't know.
Slid right off of the hands. Yeah, Edwards not able to pull it in. So with 3:29 on the clock here, the clock will stop as Colonel Crawford will get the football back at their own 4-yard line.
And it looks like, he's got a few subs in, but not all of them down here on the goal line. He would like to get a first down and get out of Dodge.
Yep.
By he, I mean, I'm sure Coach Bruner,
the one we're speaking
would
of,
like to get this thing finished.
They are going to pack everybody in pretty tight. They got hold under center, and they got a
they're going to get a false start.
It's going to be on Colonel Crawford. So instead of being at the 4, we'll go to the 2. So lose 2 yards on the half distance to the goal line. So now it's a 1st down and 12. Once again, Holt under center. He'll just turn around. Man, they got him again.
Yep, same thing.
So have you seen that before where we've 2 penalties and lost 3 yards? So they'll be at 1st and 13 from the 1-yard line now.
Yeah. And, Coach Bruner can't be happy with this because, he's got a starting quarterback in there. He's got some starting linemen in there.
Going to turn around, hand this thing off. There's a little bit of space going
Tesso?
right up the middle. Looked like Tesso, sure was. He'll give him a little bit of room back. Probably got back the yardage that they lost on the penalties. So go give him 2 on that play.
Most importantly for the Crawford Eagles is the clock is now running.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. I'm like,
you got to get a playoff to get the clock to run again.
Darn right. 3 minutes on that clock. And once again, everybody is I formation now. You guys packed in pretty tight. Powers behind Tesso. Everybody else in tight. Holt will turn around, hand it off. Tesso, he's going to go ahead and make a guy miss and get over the hole. And nice little run for about 5-6 yards right there from Madden Tesso.
But it does look weird.
Yep.
That you got like a 5 foot 660-pound fullback and a 6 foot 200-pound tailback.
Exactly. I was literally looking at it going, okay.
That looks like it should be flipped somehow.
You should probably flip that, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny because even though they're doing it like that, Powers is running past him on those runs and working
as
almost like a lead blocker. I was like, I've not seen that very often. 3rd and 4 here after the 6-yard run. 2 minutes left in the ball game. They'll turn around. There is going to be Powers. He's got space.
Get the first down.
He may go. He's at the 30. He is at the 40. It's a foot race to the 50, the 40, and he's going to be drugged down in Eastern Territory. They'll put him at the 36-yard line. Man.
So he goes 53 quick ones.
So Avery Powers, 60 yards rushing now in the game for him. Pretty impressive.
And again, we reload at the running back.
Exactly.
He's a sophomore.
I literally said when I saw him earlier this year, I'm like, oh boy. I go, he'd start on almost every other team in this area. And, you know, he's going
to be. Who was a back that they had a few years that was so big? What was his? I can't remember.
Yep.
He was like 6'4", 220.
Yes, exactly. 1:35 on the clock. They'll turn around. It'll be Powers again. He'll just jump over a guy, drag himself a little bit forward, and he's pretty close.
Did a really good job of staying in bounds.
Sure did. The good news, 9-yard run. The bad news, it ruins his average a little bit for the game. 1:15 and counting on the clock here. 2nd and 1 yard from the 27-yard line.
Well, if he pops one, he could end up being the guy that leads them in rushing.
Exactly. They'll huddle up.
He may slip by McMichael.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Who had a pretty good night.
Slap in the face.
Yeah.
Holt under center. Tesso right behind him. Powers offset. They'll give it to Tesso. He'll go right up the gut. He'll get a first down. And from there, they can kneel this thing out if they want to do it at all. The Colonel Crawford Eagles will be moving on to take on Mount Gilead next week in round 2 of the Division 6 Region 23 playoffs. Outstanding victory right here for Colonel Crawford. Got to be real pleased with the way this thing came together. So here comes the kneel down, victory formation. There it is, and that will do it. The Colonel Crawford faithful get to celebrate on a big victory as the Colonel Crawford Eagles impress tonight. As, you know what, they were the higher seed and they played like it. Final score, Colonel Crawford 35, Eastern 7. We're going to take a break and we'll give you some final numbers and start wrapping things up here from Colonel Crawford right here on WBCO and streaming live on the OH Report.
Being able to give back to the community, and just our teamwork is really solid. It makes it an incredible place to work because a lot of people enjoy what they're doing and want to help out.
You get to learn every day. You get to meet very unique people. I get to interact with everyone from the clinical staff to the administrative staff. Everyone has something to offer. It's kind of like a million puzzle pieces coming together to make one large, beautiful piece.
When it comes to comfort, every degree matters. At Buckeye Horizon, we proudly install and maintain Trane heating and cooling systems built to last, engineered for performance. And with our expert service, your home stays comfortable year-round. No matter the season, we'll keep your system running at its best. Call Buckeye Horizon at 419-529-2738, your local Trane comfort specialist.
I'm Steve Krall, president of First Federal Community Bank. And here at First Federal Community Bank, our playbook consists of the 3 C's: care, curiosity, and courage. Just like your team, our 3 C's strengthen our communities and our team here at First Federal Community Bank. On behalf of our team here at First Federal, we want to wish all of our area teams and coaches the best of luck this season. Yes!
Cancel. Our final score here from Colonel Crawford High School. The Eagles of Colonel Crawford take down the Eagles of Reidsville Eastern 35-7. Tim, just a super impressive performance here from Colonel Crawford. Once they kind of got rid of, got through that first basically drive or so, it didn't feel like they ever turned back. And even though it ended up being a 4-touchdown lead, it felt like it almost could be worse.
Oh yeah, well yeah, they scored like 4 possessions right in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got a little sloppy coming out of the locker room real quick. The fumble and a fumble back, and but then they got the touchdown and the clock ran and got some subs in, and so it's just what you want to do in a first playoff game, really, when all is said and done. But you're right. Yeah, 35-7, it was not that close.
Yeah, unfortunately, for Eastern, they make the nearly 3-hour drive up here, take the bus ride up, and ultimately just kind of ran into a team that just had more size, more skill, more speed, and they didn't really know how to answer it. As for the Colonel Crawford Eagles, ended up with 435 yards of offense. But as you break down some of the individual numbers, Parker Weithman, stud receiver, I got him at 131 yards receiving, 8 catches and a touchdown. And then Connor McMichael, 3 touchdowns running. He's just shy of 100 yards, but only carried the ball 12 times to get 97.
And they averaged, like 8 or 9 yards, somewhere between 8 or 9 yards a carry.
Yep.
When they did run the ball, and so they ran for over 200 yards. They throw for over 200 yards. Yeah, that's good. Great balance. It's as they wanted to have, and actually 6 penalties is good.
Yeah.
For them.
Right? That has been the problem for them.
The games I've had them, the last few games, they've been in double digits. So they just had a very solid night, and I think the really good thing for them is Peyton Baker's has played quarterback well all year, because he's played much more than they did a year ago when they split it, when him and Holt split it pretty evenly. But with Holt recovering from that surgery, this is the most I've seen Holt play all year.
Yeah.
And obviously he's feeling pretty healthy, because he he threw for around 200 yards.
Yeah. Well, and that's, part of that we were going to say, our Lewis Family McDonald's, game of the week, our Lewis Family McDonald's player of the game. I figured I'm going to give it to Braden Holt because as great as Weithman was and McMichael was, Holt was just on point tonight. Ended up being 12 of 15, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns. Pretty much he wasn't doing anything wrong out there.
No.
And it really kind of helped in the process of pulling away in this game.
Yeah, he's just very solid, very accurate.
Yeah.
And a lot of those passes, he hit Weithman where Weithman was able to catch it in stride.
Yep.
And continue to run. He didn't have to reach back or do anything to make the catch, and just, they were able. A lot of his passes were they weren't way down the field all the time, but they were so accurate, they're able to run.
Yeah. Coming up next here for Colonel Crawford, they got Mount Gilead around the corner, who's the number 4 seed. They'll play there. Looking at what we've seen out of Colonel Crawford throughout the season and what we know about Mount Gilead, just doing a quick little preview right now. How you feeling about that one?
I think Mount Gilead is a team similar to maybe Cary, who is Crawford's only loss. They got pretty good size up front in the offensive line. They have a really good running back, and where Cary had 2 of them, the brothers. Yeah. And but Gilead's got one that's really outstanding, and but I'm not sure that Gilead's quite as good defensively,
right,
as Cary is. So again, it's got to be a game where they got to come out, they got to hit them in the mouth early with some touchdowns, and hopefully advance to another round, and then you'll be down to the regional semifinal.
Yeah, absolutely. With the loss here tonight, Eastern season ends at 7-4 overall. Colonel Crawford improving to 10-1 overall, and again, getting ready for another week of high school football for them. Again, impressive performance for Colonel Crawford Eagles. That's going to pretty much wrap up our broadcast here on WBCO. We do thank everybody for sticking around with us. If you're joining us on the OH Report, stay tuned as we're going to be interviewing our player of the game, the McDonald's player of the game, Braden Holt. That's coming up next here on the OH Report. For those joining us on WBCO, thanks for being with us this evening. Colonel Crawford with the big victory. They improved to 10-1 on the season. 35-7 final score for our great Danny Lane, the engineer back at the station, and Tim Birie. This is Jeff Roberts saying have a great evening.
In business and ag banking, it's not just about the numbers, it's about the people. At First Federal Community Bank, we believe relationships are the foundation of every successful partnership. We can help you grow your farm through various ag programs, including working with our local FSA offices, as well as Farmer Mac. We have many commercial business programs to help make your day-to-day operations easy and convenient. Because when you bank with us, you're not just a customer, you're family.
Back here at the OH Report with our player of the game. Congratulations,
Country
Braden Holt.
Legends, AM
Outstanding
1540
performance here for Colonel
1075.
Crawford. Felt obviously.
Central
I know you're a little
Ohio
bit used
Media
to it.
Groups.
Weather brought to you by Avita Health System. Mostly cloudy this evening with a low of 34. Partly sunny skies for Saturday with a high of 53 and a slight chance of showers for Saturday.
So that definitely helped a lot.
As you want to do this again? Yes, absolutely. Braden, just answer that one more time. Okay. Sorry, there was a little bit of a mess up on our end. So go ahead. Can you give me that answer one more time?
Yeah, so just knowing that it was a big-time playoff game, first round, obviously they're coming up for a while away, so knowing that they're going to give us everything they had. So just knowing that we had to go out and be ready to go right away, jump on them, especially being a senior, knowing there's not many games left, and then being the last game at home too possibly is played a big factor in just wanting to come out with a big-time win on top.
Yeah, you ended up the game, 12 of 15 overall passing, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the efficiency in, getting the ball to the guys who need get the ball to, for lack of a better term for it. Tell me about those weapons that you have out there and, what you're trying to do.
Oh, man, it's hard to key on one guy because you have so many weapons that we're so deep with our lineup. With guys behind on coming in off the bench, too. You have weapons all over the place. I have an easy job. I just got to get it to those guys. Those are the guys that make the plays and do all the extra cool stuff. So as long as I can get it to them, I know something big's going to happen.
Now tell me, as you're looking ahead, we've got it right here. Mount Gilead is what looks like it's coming next. I'm sure you guys weren't looking into that game. But how's it feel, with a playoff game in front of you, and this one a little bit more local? You got to go on the road, but at least you don't have to travel 3 hours like these guys did.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So hopefully that plays into helps us with another some more people coming, having a crowd with us behind us. I know that we're excited. Obviously, celebrate this tonight, celebrate this weekend, and then we'll look into Mount Gilead going in on Monday. They're a good team. There's a reason they had a bye this week, and they got a top 4 seed. So, no, it's not going to be easy and going right at them. It'll be a challenge, but I'm looking forward to it.
I got one more question for you. It's going to be a weird one, but I just want you to think about this for a second.
Right.
Last year, N10 Player of the Year for basketball, and that's right around the corner as the football team continues to win. That, kind of shortens your ability to get ready for that season. Obviously, we don't want to ignore this season because we're loving what's happening right now. But tell me what's kind of going through your head as you've got another season in front of you in another sport that you're great at.
Yeah, but each season, whether that's senior year, junior year, I'm looking forward to football. I'm in football right now.
Yep.
I'll look forward to that once football's over. But right now, I'm going to enjoy the ride with my guys, what I have. Knowing that the hourglass is shortly coming to an end. So I'm just looking forward to football each week and taking care of that. And when it's time to come with basketball, I'll flip into modes. But
absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and best of luck going into next week. Braden Holt from Colonel Crawford High School, our McDonald's player of the game.
I want to shout out my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I want to shout out my friends, my family, and I also want to shout out my O-line for protecting me and these guys behind me. We all come together for a brotherhood, and it's fun to play with.